And you look at the coaches that we've had in time past.
Yep.
In terms of his body of work, a coach that has coached lots of female teams. I mean, had experience all over the world. Even coached at the highest level in the US when it comes to the US Women's League.
Yeah.
His body of work and his qualification, clearly, he tops all. So, this coach, after his exploits with the Black Queens, has shot himself up there as a coach that a lot of countries will be looking at suddenly. Africa, Europe, anywhere.
Yep.
So now it comes to the numbers. He has a 2-year contract. How much is he earning? How much is he paid? If you dangle that carrot in front of him with big bucks and with a national team that has a bit of pedigree, Björgren is gone. Even Nora Hutler, who saw $2,000 more after coaching the Black Queens or taking over the job of the Black Queens with no credible coaching experience, no credible coaching pedigree. She saw $2,000 extra and left the Black Queens. How much more Björgren, who has coached lots of teams? I mean, in terms of his coaching experience, his body of work is unmatched on the local scene and for a lot of national teams at this tournament. Björgren stands tall. So my worry is, if you want that consistency with these girls, it would mean that Kim Lass must stay. Kim Lass must avoid all the temptations, all the baits that will be put in front of him to move from the Black Queens. He would have to avoid all of that, or he would have to run away from all of that and say, well, I'm committed to the Black Queens. If we get that commitment from Kim Lass with this group of players, and possibly the new ones will be scouting across, I think that this team has a future. Maybe next AFCON they could get into the finals. The next 2 years, they could possibly win it. Because by then, a lot of the players would have peaked, would have reached peak, playing at top teams and playing at a very high level. So, Nathan, this team has a good future. But a lot of it will depend on who manages them moving forward.
Okay.
If Kim Lass stays, great for the team. If Kim Lass moves on, then we have a problem. We have to reinvent the wheel. We're almost going to start all over again because new coach will come in, new crop of players, new philosophy, try to find a new identity for the team, all of that. It will disrupt the progress. And that's why I'm hoping that the FA and the sports ministry do everything possible to give this team that consistency. The South Africans have consistency. The Nigerians have consistency. The Moroccans themselves. I mean, a bit of consistency in there. So
you mentioned South Africa's case, and you are completely right. Ellis has been in charge for a while.
Yes.
But on that same... Anyway, let's move on.
Ellis is trying to build a new team, really. Because a lot of the players have moved on. Obviously, it's catching up with some of them, some of them losing form and everything. So she's had to figure out how to chart a new path for these players. So I can understand her not being able to defend the title, yes. But you can see her imprint.
I mean, the team has you can tell that they've taken steps forward.
Absolutely. And so you need that sort of consistency. If we get that with Kim, and based on what he's shown us, he's a proper tournament coach. I think that, he's a proper tournament coach. You look at how he's played all through the competition. If he had a bit more firepower, maybe he had a certain Ajibade in his team. Or he had maybe, an Oshola of in his team. Maybe they could have buried some of the chances they were missing. Okay, so that's what I'm saying now. He's good. There's more room for him to improve. And there's more room to improve if he has a lot more time with the girls. Okay, so the FA must do everything possible to keep him. If he moves on, Nathan,
you think that it means that you think if we move on, then it means we take steps backwards, bring a new coach, build chemistry. So a lot of this project, a lot of it will hinge on the coach. And the FA and the sports ministry must make sure Kim Lass doesn't move. What about those who say that he made tactical errors and things in the tournament, so he can't take this team forward? You see, Nathan, when a coach gets to the semi-final of a competition, or he manages to get a team to the semi-final of a competition, that coach is no fluke. That coach is no joke. That coach is no
I'm looking for a word. Is it loud?
Slow pushover.
No, I mean
it's not a slouch.
It's not a slouch. Good. It's not a slouch. It's not a Zuku coach. Okay. No, I mean, he's got into the semi-finals of the competition. When did he take over this team? How many friendlies did he play? How much work did he do with this team to get them here? Because some of these players were playing in their leagues in Europe and all. He had to figure out how to get this team to play. And at a tournament, there was a group stage in front of him. He managed to overcome that. There was a quarter-final. He managed to overcome that. There was a semi-final. And without doubt, everybody will attest to the fact that, the Black Queens were decent. Were very good against Morocco. But for them being profligate up front and all, they could have sealed this game in the first half. And the Moroccans would have come back. But he's done his bit. And like I said, his body of work speaks for him. He's coached at places where he's earned a certain reputation.
Cyprus,
yes,
US.
Yeah, and they tell you the best female coaches come from Sweden. Sweden have a pool of female coaches who are top notch, who are excellent. So I mean, if you have Kim Lass, and that's why I'm saying that, Nathan, if he's ready to stay, because look, we can talk about him not being tactically sound and all, and think that we have coaches, but Nathan, on the local scene, which coach are we bringing? On the local scene, which coach will we bring to replace him? Okay. On the international scene, which coach are we going to bring? Okay. So, on the local scene, we've seen Basigi and Co. We've seen Didi Dramani and Co. We've seen Ampim Dakwa boss, Jonah Dakwa. We've seen, I mean, they are the people top of mind. If you are talking about Black Queens, top of mind, these are the coaches who you can say potentially could coach the team. Or my good friend, Messi Tego, who I think can do a good job if she's given a lot of support. But Nathan, immediately, I'm not sure she wants to take over the Black Queens job. I'm sure she wants to concentrate on Oak Ladies. So she's not taking this job now. Maybe in the next 3-4 years, she may decide to take it. But she won't take it now. So Nathan, we may have to find a way to keep Kim Lass. I'm saying that, look, I won't be surprised if Kim Lass leaves this job. Because the offers will come. He showed himself after this WAFCON. He showed himself. If nobody thought Kim Lass was a credible coach, Sporty. Clearly what is done at this AFCON justifies the reason why any top team in the world should come for him. Now look at his done. Racing Louisville, Apollon Ladies, Beijing Phoenix. He's coached in terms of his body of work, no doubt. So I am hoping that Kim Lass stays. As for the girls, they need time. The girls need a lot of time to get to that level, to get to the level of the Nigerians, get to the level of the South Africans and all. It will all take time, and it will all come together if the coach is given the opportunity. And I think that, Nathan, you see, over the last few days, suddenly, we've seen a lot of people show interest in the Queens. Even their male counterparts, the Black Stars. Before the semi-final clash, we heard them, Kudus Mohammed sending messages and all, captain of the team penning a note to the girls and all. Nathan, at the start of the competition, nobody seemed interested in what the Queens were going to do.
This is Sporty FM.
I think that these Queens, by reaching the semi-final, have made a case for themselves. And the case they've made is simple.
Okay, you
start taking women's football seriously.
You finish. I just have a bit of a correction here concerning the Queens. So So Abigail is in Morocco.
Okay.
Now she tells me that the players did not travel by bus.
Okay.
They flew with Kim to Rabat.
Okay.
Now the team's equipment and a few technical members who could not fly, they were the ones who went via bus.
Man, I would have been surprised. I would have been surprised if Cap did that. I would have been very surprised.
So the players and coach Lars Bjørgren, they flew. They took a plane
to Rabat. And
I think that must have been organized by CAF, obviously.
Of course.
So CAF sent the players by air to Rabat.
Yeah.
And then their equipment came via bus.
Fine.
And then a few technical members who could not get onto the flight. I'm sure it wasn't the biggest of planes. Right. So, Abigail, thank you and it's important we make this correction so that somebody will not say that, is Abigail who said that. No, I don't think she has said anything like that. These are reports we heard, and she's there saying that the team or the players and the coach did not go on a bus.
Right.
They flew on a plane. Their equipment and some technical members who could not get on the bus were the ones, who could not get on the plane were the ones who came via bus.
Yeah. So that's
I think
that's good update for
wonderful.
Kevin brought the concern. So so that's a quick update. Yeah.
So that is for our listeners.
So
team did not go by bus from wherever it is to Rabat. The players and Kim were on a plane. And then their equipment and some technical members who could not get on that plane went to Rabat via bus.
Right.
I think that's quite clear.
Right.
Let's proceed.
So Nathan, like I was saying, the girls have made a case for themselves to be considered a credible and a serious national team that needs state support. Without doubt. Nathan, if the Black Stars get all the support in this world, the Black Stars get the chance to play in the Unity Cup, they play in friendlies and all over the world, and the FA and the sports ministry is able to do everything possible to make sure the Black Stars go there and play. I think that the Black Queens, based on what they've done and based on how they've sold themselves at this competition, they now become an attractive national team. If there are friendly matches we can organize for them, the ministry and government should be responsible. They should be interested in supporting the girls. As many as possible friendly matches should be organized for these girls.
Yeah.
Part of the reasons why Nora left was because she felt she didn't get enough friendly games to see her team.
Yeah.
Right.
And to think that even the amount of games Nora Hutla got today, we are saying that they were not enough.
Yes.
I remember because we couldn't get them extra games.
Absolutely.
We couldn't pay $40,000.
Yeah.
And I remember some of the previous coaches also complained that they didn't even get some of the games Nora Hutla even got.
Yes. You see,
so there's still a lot of work to be done.
So Nathan, and I remember my good friend Mercy Tego.
Yeah.
When I had my issues with her, she explained to me, and look, when I was coach of the Black Queens, I didn't get support. I didn't get the support even Nora got. Okay. If I had
and in hindsight, we are even saying that Nora didn't even get enough support.
So just
you can
imagine what Mercy Tego got. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that these girls have made a case for us to now look at our female national teams and say, look, we should give them more support. We should give them enough support. In terms of coaching, in terms of technical ability of whoever is surrounding the head coach and all. It gives us a lot of time to rethink about how we want our women's game to grow. The girls have clearly shown us that given support, given the much needed help, they can go all the way.
Okay.
So they've made a case for themselves. Per diems, winning bonuses, appearance fees, all of that. Nathan, there must be a structure. I think the girls, by virtue of the fact that they've reached this point, would earn some $500,000.
We'll check. We'll just do a quick check.
Yes.
You just do that check for me whilst I get to the phone.
All of that, I am sure we would have to get to that and see what we can do for the girls. And me, I'm happy that they've at least done this for everybody to see that, yes, the girls, when given the support and needed push, they can go all the way with a good coach.
Okay.
So, Nathan, no more excuses. Support the girls best way possible. Nathan, if you hadn't qualified for these semi-finals, I'm not sure would have seen a lot of people go to Morocco.
That's true.
We would have seen the sports minister go to Morocco.
That's true.
And taking care of all their needs.
That's true.
Nathan, let's give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Let's make sure we take care of the girls.
Yeah.
And they'll deliver for us.
Well, great stuff. Let's get to the line now. Let's speak with Coach Yusuf Basigi, ex-Black Queens, ex-Black Princesses, ex-Hazakers ladies coach. He's currently in Tanzania coaching the Simba Queens and their project. Coach, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Yesterday, we spoke before the game. We were all hoping that the Queens could cross the line. They fell short in a penalty shootout. First question, what did you make of the performance overall across 90 minutes, 120 minutes, and through the shootout?
Honestly, I would say that the girls did very, very well. Let me say the ladies, because they are not under 20. They did very well by way of dominating play in the first half, except that we had a lot of scoring chances that we couldn't convert. That notwithstanding, I'll say that they put up a splendid performance yesterday.
When you look at, let's go through the game. In the first half, the Queens took the lead. They looked okay. They looked fine. They started the second half well, and then the Moroccans came into the game and all of that. What did we do right in the first half, to get us into the lead? And what do you think did not work in that second half and that allowed the Moroccans back into the game?
Yeah, what we did right was the pressing game. We did a lot of pressing game, but you see, when you play this in some pressing game, it cannot last more than 90 minutes. It cannot even last more than 45 minutes. So at a point, you have to pause, hold on to the ball, and play. But you see that we were chasing the ball everywhere, winning every 50-50 ball. So that was my fear. So my fear was that, yes, in as much as we're pressing and getting the chances, if we had converted the chances, we could have scored even 3 goals in the first half. So if we had done that, the second half, we sit in the middle block and then contain them and play. But we were all attacking, all defending, all attacking, all defending. But you see, at a point, you have to slow down the game, especially when you are leading. Then you take them on counter break, because by that time, they will also be pushing to equalize. So that is where you can take them on counter break. But the pattern was all attacking, all defending in the first half. So I was telling my colleague sitting by me that my fear is if we don't get additional goal in the first half and then we end it 1-0, these people, so they are good in ball possession. Mm-hmm. So they are going to possess to attack us. They possess to attack, they possess to defend. So they are going to possess to attack us, and that is where we'll be falling short. Sporty FM. All the same, we even did well, even in the second half, though they were now dominating, possessing to attack, possessing to find a space to score. We were still defending until such a time that when they equalize, it looks like now we're dropping a bit in terms of energy.
Great. So, I mean, going forward, after the penalty shootout, we can't say much. I guess the strategy didn't really pay off. We couldn't execute well. Now that the deal is done, what do you think should be the lessons that the Queens as a team and maybe Ghana as a country should take, or the lessons we should learn going forward following this year's AFCON?
There should be an attention on the ladies. We should pay much attention on them. We shouldn't wait till competition period. Most of the time, every FIFA window, like they do in the Tanzania, every FIFA window, there are series of matches they play.
Okay.
And next edition will be the qualifier for World Cup. So preparation starts immediately after this. So that the strategic plan for the World Cup qualifiers to the World Cup proper will start after this tournament.
Finally, Coach, what of all the games the Queens played in this WAFCON, what for you was your most memorable game? What do you think should be the most positive moment, or what is your most positive moment of the Black Queens in this WAFCON?
This particular game they played yesterday.
Okay.
It really showed that they have the character. Initially, I was a bit careful in my discussion with my colleague in terms of how they were going to contain the Moroccans, because playing against the hosts with that crowd. But because I was comparing to 2016 when we played against Cameroon at the Yaoundé Stadium, but that one is over 65,000 capacity. So in fact, the pressure on us was too much. Fortunately, I saw that they were able to put that behind them, which was very good. And they played very well. Honestly, they did their best. I was very happy and impressed with their performance yesterday.
Coach, thank you so much for speaking with us. Just finally, have you spoken with your colleagues in Tanzania? Their tournament ended quite early, of course, thanks to the Black Queens. But what are the? I don't know if you have any reaction from Tanzania, how they have also taken this tournament and what they have learned, or what their reaction is to their very early exit from the competition.
Yeah, I blame them for one thing. You see, when you are nearing competition, you vary. You do something we call team maintenance.
Okay.
By way of managing the energy of the players. But the coach was training them 3 times a day.
Before the competition?
Before the competition. I had Simba players there.
Yes.
And they were complaining. And then apart from even the Simba players, there were other colleagues that I am very close with. And they were telling me they train 3 times a day. Meanwhile, when you are in the competition period, it's just once a day. You do your team maintenance, team shaping, then you move on. They training 3 times, thinking that hard training will bring us. That was why they got broken down in the second half.
Because in that game against Ghana, they collapsed in that second half. They couldn't match.
In the second half.
Yeah.
And they couldn't. They were already down. Me, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. And some of them were attributing the fact that maybe I told the Ghanaian team how they play and all that, because majority of their players are in JKT.
JKT.
About 95% of their players play for JKT.
Yes. And you didn't tell us that JKT was the army team.
Yes, the army team. You see, they dominate the national team there. And then I told them, unfortunately, no, I didn't discuss anything with the technical team. Even Kim Lance, I don't have his number. So where do I have to? So that was how they were saying that I told the Ghanaian team their weaknesses. So they should look at their own problem. It's not me. I didn't say anything. I didn't have any discussion with Kim. They caused their own problem for themselves.
By over-exerting themselves physically in their training.
This is what they have been doing. Even in Simba Queens, at times they'll come to tell me, Coach, training twice. I say, how? We have a match tomorrow next. You want me to train twice, take the players to the beach? I say, we don't do that. It's a thing of the past. You see, so they don't look at the scientific aspect of the game, where you exert a lot of energy and you don't get the replenishment, and then you don't know even how to maintain the players to keep their composure and all that. All that they know is hard training. How do you train 3 times a day? Ladies, no, it's not possible. So they cause their own problem.
All right, Coach, thank you. Thank you so much for speaking that. That's a very interesting perspective. We really appreciate it. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Coach Yusuf Basigi, ex-Azakes Ladies, ex-Black Queens, ex-Under-20 Women's coach. And he's currently coach of Simba Queens in Tanzania. But he's in Ghana. He's not in Tanzania. For somebody, if you're thinking he's in Tanzania, no. Interesting thoughts there. Ray, he says that
overtraining.
He says they were overtraining 3 times a day. And so when they needed strength, they lacked it.
Yeah.
And then we dealt with them.
It happens like that, you know. But Nathan, you see, when I was...
You finish and then we go back.
When I was speaking, my good friend,
yes,
who I normally get a lot of filler from, he called me and drew my attention to something.
Yeah.
He was not happy with the ages I was putting out. The ages of the girls.
You...
No, and he told me something. He said, look, when it comes to Ghana, Nigeria, Zambia, all of these countries, when it comes to a place where there's a lot of age differential issues, you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
We practice that a lot around this time. Around, in this part of Africa. Okay. So, a lot of the players we are seeing, some of them may not have the legs to carry them in the next few years.
Okay.
You understand?
I get what you mean.
Yes. And he even tries to give me an example of a player, and I know you know the player. At the time, she was a world beater.
Yeah.
Scoring lots of goals at juvenile level. This player was a youth. Was around 24. As we speak, Nathan, you've not seen that player play for the Black Queens. That player is still playing at under 20 level. You've still not seen that player play. By the time she was banging in the goals, left, right, center. At the time she was nearing her peak. She's still down there.
Sporty FM.
Obviously, injuries left, right, center. But even with those injuries, you would understand that if you are giving her treatment for, say, an under 20, she's almost 30. And we have a lot of that in the women's game. And that is one thing the FA must watch.
Okay.
If we are trying to figure out who our next crop of talent are going to be, let's make sure we manage the issue of the age differentials.
Okay.
I won't call it age, whatever. But we have to manage that because a lot of that happens in our game.
Okay.
Even in our local league.
Oh yeah.
And it's very easy to do in the women's game. As for that one, I mean, because there's not a lot of attention when it comes to those age competitions and what we put in there. Okay. So the ages are there. Some of the players, I told you their ages, but we know.
That's for you. Let's get to the line. Let me speak with Abigail Senasusu. She's a woman in Morocco. Abigail knows what. Do you want to ask her if she knows something? I don't know why you want to worry her this morning. Abigail, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan.
Great stuff. First question, how is the vibe in camp after last night's game? It was a tough 2 hours for all of us. I'm sure it must have been tougher for the players. How are they taking the results the morning after, the game?
Well, it's very difficult for even me myself. I got in back to my days at about 1, 2 a.m. So clearly it's been a long evening into a wild morning, if I can say. Definitely they are not really happy with what happened from their demeanor right from the stadium. Even before getting into their bar, it was really difficult to get them even to lift up their heads and look into our faces. They know that they have really let themselves down to a certain level. But for Jennifer Kujo, who is an assistant captain and stopped by at the mix zone to really tell us how bad the day was and how unfortunate they were not to have taken all of those advantages that fell to them to have been in the final. Kim also mentioned that they were more of underdogs when the competition started because a lot of people didn't really think they were going to get this far. So it's all gloomy. They are not really happy with what happened, but come on, we will take it as it is and also get ready for the third and fourth place game later in Casablanca on Friday against South Africa. So it's not the best of feeling, They would have really loved to win this game, but unfortunately, other things did happen, and here we are.
Abigail, what do you think went wrong for the Queens on the day? Some people say, it was just a penalty shootout that went wrong. But I watched the performance, and I have the feeling the penalty shootout thing, it was just the last part of, a night where one or two things went wrong. But when you watched the game as it unfolded, where do you think it went wrong for the Queens? And did Kim Last point to anything that he felt the team could have done better on the day?
Well, Kim, from day one, has been full of praises for the girls, but sometimes he really gets surprised at how they equally do turn out. But one thing that remained dominant in his speech is right from the time they landed in Rabat by air and got to have their last training session was the fact that that distance or that rest that they didn't have enough to recover after that draining game against Algeria was not really sitting well with him. He's been very uncomfortable with that ever since they landed here in Rabat on Sunday evening and kept mentioning that is not going to be his excuse, okay? But he felt that if they had another day, they would have recovered very well. And so even after the presser, he mentioned again that he wouldn't take out the fact that maybe in the second half, fatigue did set in a little. So for him, that break, that 1.5 days before another all-important game away from where they have been, or the distance from where they were, even though they didn't come by bus or anything, it felt that still in the air, they still had not yet rested well or recovered so well from that drain against Algeria. And if you realize also, he didn't make any change to that starting lineup that played against Algeria. So clearly, some of the girls might have still been tired, because in the first half, they gave it their all. They gave all their energies, and I feel that if we had killed that game in the first half, at least gotten 2 goals, it would have unsettled them in the second half, and then we could have matched them good for good. I remember I mentioned yesterday that whoever we had played earlier would have a difficult playing us again, and it did show. But unfortunately, like you rightly said, the penalty shootout was anybody's game, and just we were not 2 times lucky to have gone through that and win. So a lot of things did happen. For Kim, not enough rest and some little fatigue, especially in the second half, and having to play another extra time and all of that. So we just undid ourselves at a point in time when we were getting all the chances, especially in the first half when we were totally dominant.
So I despite the loss, are there those who
Sporty
view, or are there those who find a positive? Has Kim mentioned any positives? Have any of the players mentioned any positives despite the result from last night?
For Kim, he thinks that they came into this competition as underdogs, okay? And as underdogs, they were just finding their way to the trophy. Because, of course, he also hears things people say, read things people write, and all of that. So he knew from the beginning that people were not really having that 100% trust in the girls, especially when we were losing all of those friendly games here and there and all of that. But for him, what excites him is the fact that there are talents that are bound, not just in his team, but in Africa. And he mentioned it at the presser. He keeps receiving calls of people talking about the talent from all over the world, especially for talking about the talents that he has and the talent that has been on display at the WAFCON. Clearly, he also was quick to add that this is his first time. So to have that environment, that buzz around his girls and some other teams of the opponents he has played, and it means that there's something really good with this team that he can equally work with. So for him, he's very happy with the talents that he has.
Great. So what's the itinerary going for? They have one more game to play. Yeah. I think the team has to move to Casablanca, right, to play that game.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the itinerary for the rest of the week?
So like they did when we were in Syria, the team will fly to Casablanca, and then they'll prepare for that game on Friday. They leave Rabat at midday local time. That will be 11 a.m. in Ghana. Yeah, so we are getting ready to at least get through to them and see if those disappointments have worn off a little, and they'll open up a little to us to talk about the plan next. So I'm sure by now those who are in charge are really working around it. They should leave in the next 3 hours, and they'll be leaving by air. So we will meet them in Casablanca. By road is 45 minutes from Rabat to Casablanca, so I'm sure that should be less than 30 minutes in the air for them to get to Casablanca, settle in, and I'm sure they might have a little shake-up this evening, and then tomorrow we'll get to see their final training, and then wait for what will happen on Friday.
Finally, what were the reaction of the locals to the result? A few days ago, they were best friends with Ghana, and then yesterday I saw them doing Mexican wave and celebrating when the Moroccans were scoring. But post-game, what did the locals say about the Ghanaian team?
You know, language barrier has really but not really getting the best out of them. You know, they really want to talk, but it's either in Arabic
or French.
Yes, and for the French at least, I do
yes,
one or two things. But for the Arabic, when they are really in their elements and telling you, all you hear is Ghana. You know, they were so hell-bent on beating us. Hitherto, we had them fight their enemy, but now we became the enemy, you know. And even though they were going up against us, it wasn't that hostile throughout. For their annoyance, and everything, they will do it, but they still see you and say, Ghana, next time, Ghana, you know. They believe that we couldn't have come at any other time like this. They want it as much as we do. And they do also appreciate that we gave a good fight, especially some of their journalists who try to speak English. They'll be signaling Ghana better luck, you know, Ghana good, you know, just telling you that overall it was not a bad performance, but they just had to carry the day.
Okay. We'll see. We wish the Queens the very best. Abigail, thank you so much. We'll speak again when you land in Casablanca for that 3rd and 4th place playoff on Friday. Friday, what time is that game? Afternoon or evening?
That game is also in the evening.
In the evening, okay. All right. We'll all be following. Abigail, thank you so much. I'm sure we'll speak again soon.
Thank you so much.
All right. That was Abigail Senasusu, our woman on the ground, keeping an eye on the Black Queens. It's been a very eventful time in this competition. We started off with a loss, then a draw, and then we beat Tanzania, and then we beat Algeria on penalties, and we fell to Morocco. You know, so that's the story. That's the story of the Queens. So Morocco will play Nigeria. We'll talk about Nigeria in a bit. We'll try and get some perspective from the Nigerian camp. We'll see if we can get some perspective from South Africa. We also need to get reactions from South Africa. Because Charlie, they themselves, they weren't too sure of this team.
This is Sporty.
054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. Let me take this message and then I come back in studio. Great performance by the Queens. What was left was a little bit of composure in front of goal, and the game would have been won in regulation time. Says, as far as Barcelona's signing, okay, says Barcelona's signing of Rashford was long overdue. If not for player politics by players in the Spanish team, Nico shouldn't even be in the conversation if Rashford is in the building. Charlie. Aziz Idigoro, Tema Committee, one side. Hey, really? Hey. So are we saying that Marcus Rashford? Charlie. Anyway. Raymond Yamada is here. Michael Akomia is joining us. He and the other Michael are in the building. They are doing some business in Accra, so they've paid us a visit. Michael, how are you doing?
I envy the two of them.
You envy them, man?
I envy them.
Why do you envy them?
They are going somewhere.
They are going somewhere.
I like that place.
No, but it's work they are going to do.
Oh, Nathan. Are they not going to went to Unity Camp? Did you work the whole time?
Of course. I worked all the time.
So you didn't do any...
No way.
You didn't touch any...
No way.
Oh, Nathan.
No way.
Hey, my brother.
I met two of my mates from school. That was cool. Then the others...
Yes.
No, they were guys. Solomon and Leslie.
Your school... No, girls didn't attend your school.
Girls attended. My secondary school, girls didn't attend.
They are not in London.
I'm saying that my secondary school, girls didn't attend. It was an all-boys school, the same thing as you.
But your primary school...
In JSS, girls were there. Yeah. But
some of them are in UK.
I was in Paddy's with them.
Some of them are in UK.
Nobody doubts that. But I was in Paddy's
University?
No, I don't have
university mates are in UK?
I don't know who are there. If they are there, we are not Paddy's.
So you went to London and you were hanging out with the boys?
Yes.
And then you came back?
From my Airbnb, Black Stars Team Hotel, training, like that. The only thing I did outside that was to meet my boys and then to go buy one or two things.
I think I agree with Nami.
That was...
You have to move with him.
No. Nami. When you move with him, you might end up...
It was Michael and Michael. Yeah, Michael and Michael.
Akomia and Michael as I work.
Yes, so Michael and Michael.
Yes. Eminem.
When they go, I know what they'll do.
Wow. You know what they'll do.
Yes, I trust my boys.
Akomia, how are you doing?
I'm good, my boss.
Charlie,
it's always good to see you.
Yeah, it's always nice to see you too. The last time I saw Michael was on a Zoom screen. We were doing one or two things. Anyway, your impressions of the Black Queens. Last night was a very tough game for them. Ultimately, they lost to Morocco. But what did you make of everything? The performance, their journey, and maybe the way forward, what we can do to take this team to the next level.
Yes, I would say there are two things: one, expectation; two, reality. I think per expectation, they did so well, and I must say I'm proud of them. Some good performances, not all the time, but I think some good results too at some point in time for them to push forward and move to different stages of the competition. But in reality, I think there are certain things we need to improve on. More or less how we create chances in the final third. I think in defense we're good, very compact. In the middle of the pack, I think we have the best double pivot in the competition.
Okay.
Yes.
Jennifer
Kujo and Asantwa.
Yes.
We have the best double pivot in the competition. One sits, one progresses. I think proper box to box midfielder in the shape of Asantwa.
Yeah.
How she controls the tempo of the game, when to move, when to stay, when to pass, when not to pass, the right choices, moving into the right channels. I think she's the star of the tournament. But we needed to be much more patient in the final third when we needed to create a lot of chances.
Okay.
We were more direct. Get the ball, look at either Holoka or even another winger and just hoof the ball. Get in the crosses and see if we can score. That was not it. We were supposed to be calm.
It's almost like we were trying to
guess. And try your luck. Get the balls into the penalty box. Any way we can score, we can actually do that. But that is not how we are supposed to do when you get to such part of the tournament. You need to be very patient, try and dictate possession, and try and find the little spaces in between the centre backs and try and get your chances and score. But we're in a rush, hit the ball long, get to the second balls. And we're not even winning the second balls at some point in time. We're just losing it. Just getting the balls. Bouadoua has really disappointed me in this particular competition. I actually believe she would have done better than what we are seeing from her. She's that good. She has experience, and I think she needs to improve in a lot of things. Decision making. As a striker, sometimes when there is a through ball, I was telling Nimota over there in the production room that you need to open up your body to make a huge space for yourself. Then choose your spot. But whenever the through ball goes, she just wants to involve herself in a tangle with the centre back here and there before she gets a space to shoot. All of these things it's not supposed to be there. But I think this is the first time under Kim, major tournament. Let's see if we can go to the next tournament in 2026, work things out and make sure that we get the results. But I'm super proud of this team. I think mentally we were tough. We could have done things better. I feel sad for Comfort, and I think sometimes inferiority complex sets in. She's young. She has not been to Europe. She's still playing in the local league. Sometimes in the midst of these players, we expect a lot from her, which is true. But I think we should also manage our expectations and make sure she eases her way into the team and become consistent. And I think she's going to be one of the best fullbacks we have in the Black Queens. She did a mistake. It's okay, fine. But we need to move on and make sure that we psych her up for further competitions that we are going to have. But I'm happy with this team. I think tactically they were there, but there are a few touches they will need to do in the attacking third where we are going to blow out teams. We are just going to blow out teams. But yesterday was one particular game. I think doing the penalty shootout, they studied us so well.
Yeah. The shootout.
I think they took time to watch our penalty shootout in the quarterfinal, because the choices of the goalkeeper was like, go to the right hand side most of the time. And you look at players like Evelyn Bedu who has so much experience. I was expecting her to take another spot instead of going to the right hand side again. Then she went there again. The space was literally small, so she missed. Subsequently, I think we need to look at ourselves going into the third and fourth, because maybe with South Africa we might go into penalty shootout again. The first game was not that close, and I would say that maybe we are slow starters in competitions. Against South Africa in the first game, it was not that good. I was really disappointed. Even the first 5 to 10 minutes, we dominated proceedings. We could have even scored. But after that, we went back to the 4 settings. And we needed to do much more better in the second half. But we left a lot of gaps for them to exploit. So in the third and fourth, I expect us to be more compact, try and fight more. Because we've gained enough experience in the competition. We've tasted happiness, we've tasted bitterness, we've tasted a lot of things. So we should come out better in that game against South Africa. At worst, penalty shootouts. So we should even work ourselves out again. Where to pick our spot, how to do a lot of things, the mentality to go into these penalty shootouts, the choices. I think we did better choices in the quarterfinal than even the semi-final.
Yeah, we did. In
terms of the penalty takers.
Yeah. I think, at the time, by the time we got to the shootout, lots of changes had been made.
Yes.
So Hloka was off. You could just tell that really we were now down to not a lot of players who would have wanted to take kicks.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes when you are left with those options, it's really in the hands of the gods.
But again, you look at the Moroccans during the penalty. Just look at the interactions that were going on.
Yeah.
You know, the medical team were on, the players, the coach was there. And again, it speaks to getting certain category or class of coaches to manage your team. So the Moroccan coach, Jorge Vilda,
he's a World Cup winner.
He's a World Cup winner.
Yeah. So he's not going to assemble a team that will not do their homework well.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not going to assemble a team that will not pay attention to certain things, because I'm sure going into extra time, whoever is a video analyst would quickly go and be paying attention to which players are on, where do they shoot their kicks, how do they play. And I'm sure all of those briefings would have gone on during that short break before the penalty shootout. All of these things, I'm sure we missed out on a bit.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can't have the Moroccan technical team. We can't have that kind of thing.
That's why I said there's a difference between the expectations and reality.
Yeah.
We're expecting to qualify against Morocco, but the reality is we can't match them in certain things.
Yeah.
The little details. The little details. You see, something is also funny here. You know, back in 2016 when we played the semi-final, in the semi-final we were with South Africa, Nigeria, and Cameroon. Cameroon was the host nation.
Yes.
Ghana played Cameroon as the host nation, and they lost, and they were third. This time around, we are in the semi-final.
Yeah, we've lost
South
to the host nation.
South Africa, Nigeria again, host nation Morocco. We play against Morocco and we've lost on penalties. Now going to third and fourth again with the likes of South Africa. I think when you look at football and its history and how things work out, you cannot explain such things. But it definitely happened. Someone will say deja vu, but these are things that you cannot take away from football. It makes it quite good to watch.
That's true.
Yes, and enjoy the game in the long run.
That's true.
But there's a lot of things we need to do around this. And I agree with Raymond. The transition of these young girls into the senior team, especially the Black Queens, from Black Princesses, from here and there to the senior national team, we should look at the age, we should pay close attention to how they develop. All of these things is very, very important, because I think some of these girls even lack the basics at the Black Queens.
Yeah.
The basics.
Sporty
There are certain balls you are not supposed to shoot. You are supposed to pass the ball into the net, but they will choose to rather shoot rather than pass the ball. There are certain moments where you are not supposed to pass. There are certain moments you are supposed to be calm on the ball, keep possession. And you're also supposed to bait your opponent just to put the balls right behind them, because we have pace. I was expecting that. Let's just keep possession, because if you have Kujo and Asantua, we can keep possession. So just bait the Moroccans. Let them come out. We have quality players who can run in behind their defensive lines and get us the results. For example, when Ali Sukusi came in the latter parts of the game, pace. So you bait the Moroccans, let them come. One ball just in behind their defensive line, and we are good to go. But we kept on direct balls. You see, there are certain moments within a game, I know we want to win, but sometimes you have to play to win.
Yeah.
It's not all the time that you have to play to win though, but sometimes at crucial stages, you need to add it to your tactics. Make sure we play and get the results.
That's true. The ability to hold the ball sometimes gives you the extra 1 to 2 minutes to breathe and see what is happening.
It is different if you don't have the technical quality, but we have.
And then you proceed to do that. And I'm happy you mentioned the pivot. I thought for 65 minutes,
yes,
Jennifer Kujo and Grace Asantua, look, that it was a brilliant performance. I enjoyed watching the two of them play. It was lovely.
Superb.
They complemented each other very well. Jennifer Kujo did the sitting. Grace Asantua took the ball and was running the show. But you could tell that we would have run out of gas at a point. And it was my greatest fear. And I was on the phone with Coach Nimli as the game was happening. Just when the second half, he was saying that, this is my I'm afraid that these girls will run out of gas. The girls are, it's nice, but it's too helter-skelter. And Coach Basigi said the same thing. It was too helter-skelter at the point. We needed to slow it down. But
keep calm, because the more you hit it, the more it comes back to you. So you need to relax in possession, dominate possession, control the tempo of the game here and there. I think solid performances. Let's see how things are going to work out in the third and fourth.
Kelvin, your thoughts, and then we take as I.
I think Michael has said Coach Basigi also touched on a lot of things, and then you and Raymond have also touched on. But I think that in-game management is very crucial, and it takes a sound technical head. And at times it gets to a point that you just realize the differences between the technical heads. I don't think any player is indispensable in the team. Look at Morocco. When it got difficult, Chebak was just substituted. Lady, get off. You're the captain, and do what? Go off. I think our coach was too lenient and too, wanted to depend so much on some of her ladies who disappointed. The decision making right from the second game which he changed, the third game which he changed, in the quarterfinals. I was expecting him to at least go back to it. Bodua wasn't having an excellent tournament. Sit on the bench. It could be that her magic could come from the bench. You look at Sarina Weigman and how she played.
Michelle Adjuman.
Not even Michelle.
Throw her on.
Not even Michelle. When she played the first game, Elatoun was Beth Mead was struggling.
Yes, she benched it.
Go off and let us play Elatoun there. And when Elatoun came on, and Georgia Stanway and Kara Walsh in that midfield, it gave the team a very good balance. When she realizes that the game is getting difficult, Lauren James, go off. Chloe Kelly, come and play. Alessia Russo will be kept, but Elatoun will be tired. Go off. Michelle Adjuman drops in, and we have two ladies up front. It was just to give the right balance to the team and make sure that the others complemented the efforts of each other.
And also some of those changes give extra life to the team.
We were talking about the midfield, perfect midfield. And for your double pivot to not struggle too much, you need a CAM or a number 10 who is very much available and always availing herself for the pass. Hloka from the quarterfinal game in extra time was out of, so you could just see she was tired. It got to a point she even had a knock, but she continued with it to play the penalty shootout, which she converted one of the kicks. But during the game, I was consistently saying she is tired. Our team is getting weaker and weaker in midfield, because if you look at the sort of work Jennifer does in covering the ground, in intercepting the balls, in feeding Asantua, who seemed to be the only ball carrier. You need a player who could, actually get into that midfield.
Chris Nimi told me the same thing last
night.
She
had options.
At the point now, it was like almost 2-on-3 or 2-on-4.
Yes, every single time. So pressure comes onto the defense, and that was the reason why Portia and Susan had to be making lots of blocks, interceptions, and making sure that the channels were not being run over. There were ladies on the bench. What was Abambila doing? We know her to be, a very good midfielder. Bring her on to just cover the space and help Jennifer, and push Asantua, who seemed to be our most lethal weapon, to advance. And everyone who knows Asantua, she knows how to shoot from about 25-30 yards. Push her up the field. Give the Moroccans something to think about, something different. But that wasn't the case. We were consistently, Hloka was, and she doesn't avail herself for the pass. She's always running into the space where the striker is. So they end up, doubling up. And Asantua has to carry the ball for about 20 meters away before she can make a pass. And that seemed to be, the limitations with our team. If you look at the Nigerian team, you see how Ajibade and the likes move the ball. If you look at the South African team, how Refilo Jani, if you look at this Moroccan team, that the player who looks like Matthew Gwenduzi.
Msudi.
Yes. Just look at how they connect with Shebak, and they don't travel with the ball for over 20 meters before they are able to make the pass. That gap between midfield, defense, and then midfield and attack was our bane, which we couldn't solve the entirety of this tournament. And Morocco capitalized on that. And when the ball just bounced off Suzanne's foot, our goalkeeper was just found wanting. And you can also blame her, for a goalkeeper who hasn't been active so much. You could see her confidence was a bit down. If it was any other goalkeeper, you just come bundle into the open and brush the ball away as if he's playing table tennis or tennis too. So just
that's a goalkeeper. That's a goalkeeper's ball.
Exactly.
The ball loops.
You come out because it was just at the edge of the area. But unfortunately for her, he couldn't. So I just hope that yes, Kim Lars has understood, the team, the dynamics of his team, and going forward, we have next year. We'll still be going back to the same venue, and hopefully, we would have better players. But it's time for the coach to make certain bold decisions.
Great.
Very, very bold decisions. Players who are actually not fit and ready to deliver for the team, let's just drop them and then allow things to go. The penalty shootout, it was a game of chances, comfort. Just like you're saying, our technical team, even money's, readily available for the team, we don't have it. So our girls had to just do with it. If we had a psychologist or we had any, we could have spoken to them. But I don't know whether Adwoa was limited to talking to the girls. Anytime,
I can't tell. Her role.
She was just reserved behind. And I think it was at that point we needed her experience. She has played this game as captain. She needed to rally the girls, get to them, especially the local ones like Comfort. When she picked up the ball, even Evelyn Bedu, when she picked the ball she was so tense. You could just realize, come on. She saw the goalkeeper and was like, hey, where do I even place the ball? The reason why she went wide, if you know Evelyn from her roots, when she started playing at the Barbara Sports Stadium, she just took the boys on like it was a normal girls game. But now you can just realize she's off that confidence. It's all because she's lost form. They needed someone to actually push them, edge them on that. This is the final moment. But unfortunately, they couldn't get it. Hopefully, we get a better going forward.
Okay, Ray, finish and then I go back to the line. As I read, I'll bring you in. I'll have to speak to Gary.
Don't let him talk today.
Why won't you let him talk?
Are you the moderator?
No, Asaibo don't talk today.
Oh, don't mind him.
Okay, let me go to the line.
Oh no, quick one. Asaibo don't talk. You know why? We have a problem. Nathan.
Does he owe you money or something? Does he owe you money?
You have to do swab. That's what us to swab.
Okay, you will discuss that later.
You see on the Adwoa matter?
Yes.
Look, what is a role in it?
She's a equipment officer.
Equipment officer. So you sit in your chair.
Equipment.
No, wait. If there's
Adwoa, is it kit manager? I think.
Yes, equipment officer.
Kit manager.
Yes.
Equipment officer.
That is why. You say that is why she was sitting where she was sitting, so that Kim Lars will do his work. If she has any advice for the girls behind the scenes,
she can do it.
She can do
dressing room.
Yes, dressing room and all. Because the structures have to be respected on the field of play. But see, Nathan, during the penalty shootout, you could clearly tell that there was a golf.
So she's the equipment manager. She's the equipment manager for the Black Queen.
Hey, Adwoa.
Yeah.
That's the official designation. Okay.
She's not supposed to play any other role apart from that.
Okay.
Ray, finish. So we move on.
When it was time for the penalty shootout, you could just tell the golfing class between a coach who was earning over $200,000 and a coach who was earning $10,000 or $15,000 and his assistants.
Yeah.
You could tell that one team looked more prepared than the other. Really, Nathan, we had shortfalls. So nobody should tell me it was pass for penalties. There is a game of chance.
No, I mean clearly in the year 2025.
If you look at the kicks the girls were taking, the Moroccans were taking, they knew what they were doing. And your goalkeeper who is based in Malta, clearly didn't have any answers. And again, I ask, who is the goalkeeper's trainer?
Nassam.
Is that the best goalkeeper we have? Is that the best female goalkeeper we have? No, to be fair. Because right from the start of the tournament, we all knew our problem was the goalkeeper.
Problem was largely the defense.
Well, the goalkeeper wasn't good too. So you can have a bad defense and have a certain Donnarumma in post. But you, Nathan, let's go back and come because I want to deal with this goalkeeping issue.
Okay, no problem. I don't know what. Let's go to the line. Gary Al Smith, our team leader, is joining us. He is in Morocco watching the AFCON as well. Gary, good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, everyone. And good morning. Hi, guys.
Wonderful. You saw that game as it evolved. I've had different viewpoints, so I want your own perspective of what you witnessed as Ghana took on Morocco last night in the WAFCON semis.
I think that first of all, as I mentioned repeatedly on my own timeline, first I'd like to congratulate the team because I felt that they overachieved. I did not expect them to get this far at all. And if you ask yesterday a few CAF officials, Nathan, that I was even speaking to, who have been with the team assigned to the Black Queens from the beginning, right? They even gave me the impression that the bulk of the Black Queens team themselves did not genuinely think that they will get this far. Indeed, I am told that right from pre-tournament, when CAF started getting acquainted with our team in terms of logistics, getting some of our senior players to be involved in the pre-tournament hype activities. They did some webinars and stuff like that, and the Black Queens had representation. I was told that they found it pleasantly surprising that the Black Queens did not seem to be confident that they'll go past the group stage. Now, why would this be the case? I think that in the context of everything Raymond has said, in the context of everything Kelvin has said, and in the context of everything that we saw happen in the pre-tournament with the losses Ghana suffered, how we even lost those games. Many of us did not really think much of this Black.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Yes. In that sense, if we put all that in context, it might even inform just how everything has transpired here. Now to the game itself. And even before we come to the game, when you are closer to the team, I only landed yesterday morning, but I had 1,001 questions. And there's a few things I want us as Ghanaians out of the Black Queens conversation to realize about tournaments. Nathan, you know this from way back, that tournaments are not won when the tournament kicks off.
No, not at all.
Right. In that sense, Morocco have been perfecting the art of going to tournaments, whether it's under 9 football, whether it's under 12 girls, under 15 girls, under 20 boys, under 23 girls, or whatever, or from the national team front, and they've been doing it very well. And I'm talking about the winning through fair or foul means, and all those other small things. If you check all their games in this WAFCON, what stands out? The very little things, apart from the fact that they have been growing in confidence because they are investing in football. And I know that the phone lines will open and people will talk about this. But you see, there are little things. They are hosting the tournament. They are looking at their opponents. They are making sure that your transportation arrangements, there's a small delay here. Your hotel, the Black Queens Hotel they slept in, that was officially CAF issued. For this game, ahead of this game, guess what? The one they slept in before the quarterfinal, that was in Bekan, which is supposed to be, quote unquote, a village as compared to here, Rabat, the capital. The hotel in Bekan was way better than what they had here in the capital. According to one of our journalists, it was 100 times better. And this is even before the match. So it wasn't like it was an excuse for how we play. No. When we finished our last game, you remember how many times Kim spoke about the tiredness factor?
Yeah.
And yesterday, a CAF official gave me a lowdown about why we probably had lost the game even before the game kicked off. Purely because of physiological reasons, not psychological, physiological. Because by the time we left Bekan, right, guess what? After we played Algeria 120 minutes. Now, these are tournament things that, if you look at things like the Champions League or, the World Cup and regional tournaments, they absolutely have an effect as to how prepared you are even before kickoff.
Yeah.
We did anti-doping right after the Algeria game, which is standard. You do anti-doping, you do your shakedown. Then they went to their hotels to pack. The team had to now power the girls down. If you know what's powering the girls down mean, from the psychological high of beating Algeria like that, you have to, psychologically bring them down to a level. Then they went to the airport. There was a standard Air Morocco delay. Air Morocco delays every time, so everybody expects it, you know. But all this while, Morocco had one full day ahead of us because they had qualified a day ahead of us. They were resting. By the time we had completed our travel cycle and gone to Rabat to get ready for the semi-final, Morocco had rested and were in recovery mode. It meant that if you watch the first half, it was clearly a case that the Black Queens were playing on adrenaline. When we came out for the second half, Nathan, anybody who watched the game could have seen that we were finished physically. We were finished.
Yep, that's true.
It was the second half and the first half was like night and day. I'm not even coming to the other things that, you know, that will be sentiment analysis and all that. No, this is purely scientific, physiological stuff, right? And these are things that tournament teams know how to do. And these are things that we will have to learn as a country so that we can apply to all our teams at all levels, right? Then we come to the football. I don't think that there was much difference between Morocco and the Black Queens, particularly from the evidence of the first half, Nathan. I think that we matched them, as we like to say, boots for boots properly. In that first half, we showed that these were not Moroccans that on an even playing field, on a level playing field, if we all had the same kind of rest, if we all had the same factors, we could not play them for 90 minutes. I don't think so, which is why I think we took them to the penalty shootout.
Okay.
For those having a go at Comfort Yeboah, I think it's unfair. She has been a rock for most of the tournament, but a few factors came into play and she had an off day. Evelyn Bedu, for me, I mean, we all know that this was a tournament that, you know, she's had a stinker this tournament, right? And so a lot of the things Raymond will say, I mean, I think that hindsight is always 20/20. We can always look back and all that, but I choose to say that if all of us are stakeholders, look at this team that has qualified for the semi-final of the WAFCON ahead of schedule. I say ahead of schedule because we all did not expect them to be there. Guess what? We have exactly 1 year to get them back here. The next WAFCON, not exactly 1 year. Sorry, what am I saying? The WAFCON is in March. So the African Cup will be from mid-December, right? To early Jan.
Early Jan, yeah.
2 months later, the WAFCON, that is qualifying teams to the World Cup, is starting. Between now and then, the girls have been giving us hints in almost every interview after every game this WAFCON, because somebody has asked them, what do you need for us to get to the next level? And the answers have been the same. I spoke to Jennifer Kojo, and I'm sure you saw we sent it yesterday. That was my only question for them. And the answer was clear. Please, get us competitive games often. It's a very simple thing. They're not even asking for money and stuff, because the girls know that within them, Nathan, is a title competing squad. They just need regular games with decent opponents. And I was told yesterday that teams in Europe are so interested in playing the Black Queens that they want them often, to be playing them often. Because you see, the women's teams, the best women's teams in Europe, do not want to be playing themselves in friendlies anymore, because things have gotten so competitive that they can figure each other out in real tournament. So they want teams from the Copa America for women is ongoing at the moment. The Femenina is ongoing at the moment. The Copa, the women's AFCON is ongoing at the moment. So European teams are scouting the best African and South American teams and booking them for tournaments ahead of competitions next year. Ghana should put itself in a position where the best teams in Europe want to play us. And those are my takeaways from here.
Great. So finally, Gary, when you look at, I mean, you got there yesterday, you've seen the semis and all of that.
Yeah, I saw both games.
You saw both games. When this competition ends, no matter which way it ends, where do you think it leaves women's football when you compare it to, say, 3 years ago? Do you think the levels would have gone up, or it's probably still at the same level across the board?
Look, CAF is doing very, very well in the last couple of years with women's football. I don't think, I think we should give them their flowers for that.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested in the behind the scenes and not what we were seeing on the field since I landed, in both venues that I saw. The attention to detail is what lets you see whether a confederation is taking something seriously or not. What do I mean? Some of the experts in the various fields, those who are coming, the legends who are invited to come and watch the games, the kind of technical expertise that is brought from the best places to come and give analysis on who is doing what and so on, is some or are some of the best that money can buy and that experience can buy. And it is what CAF is making available to this WAFCON. As we know, they have increased the prize money for the second consecutive tournament in a row.
Yeah.
If that does not give us indication that they are taking women's football seriously, I don't know what else is an indication. So, as you know, I'm here because of the collaboration between Sporty and Puma.
Mm-hmm.
CAF is quote unquote urging its sponsors to do things like this, to get more people to talk about women's football at a global level, because a few years ago, Puma would not have bothered to bring journalists from around the continent to come and watch women's football. Absolutely not.
They would have been focused on doing other things. Yeah,
No. They have more, quote unquote, more important things to do. They are urging them to sponsor more African football teams. You might have noticed that Jay-Z's Rock Nation has opened a branch in Africa in the last few days.
Yeah.
Most importantly, Rock Nation and CAF are working on particularly putting their money into women's football as well.
Okay.
This is very, very high level stuff that will ensure that African women's football will get to a place. But from a very biased point of view, all these things I'm mentioning, Nathan, I am only seeing a certain number of countries there. I am seeing Nigerians, South Africans, Moroccans, Zambians. I am not seeing Ghana anywhere. FIFA have just selected a women's football ambassador. They have a name, a women's football advisor for Africa. It is a Nigerian. The second person will be a Moroccan. I asked, and there is no plan to include a Ghanaian there. You see, we have to position ourselves to be in those rooms, to be in the conversations in the rooms that we are not in.
Yeah.
It is our job to do so. Thankfully, we are getting more Ghanaians inside CAF. You see, we have to play our politics right to ensure that when they are mentioning names, this thing that Raymond is saying about Adwoa Bayo, I've just kept quiet because if you know Adwoa Bayo, and I've been privileged to interview Adwoa Bayo on a couple of things over the years.
Yeah.
Let's be honest so that Ghanaians know right now. Adwoa Bayo is the Stephen Appiah of women's football. She has so much knowledge in her head. She does not have the professional competence to know how to convert her knowledge into tangible advice for the girls. Let's be honest. If you put Adwoa Bayo right now into any position of management, which is why she's an equipment officer or kit officer, Kelvin, I saw you being a bit upset that she's quote unquote only a kit officer. Kelvin, let me be honest with you so that Ghanaians listen and hear. Adwoa Bayo is not ready for anything more serious. And our good friend Stephen Appiah, it is the same problem with Stephen Appiah. Please, let Ghanaians know that if you put Stephen Appiah in any position of management right now, he's not ready professionally. Please, that's the truth. You see, El Hadj Diouf is given certain roles in the Senegalese national team from about the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him in any role that involves pen and paper? No, because he's not ready. He knows it. Everybody knows it. So they keep him in a position where his role is to motivate the players, to give them a certain kind of help. When it comes to pen and paper stuff, he's not ready. Adwabaya is not ready. Stephen Appiah is not ready.
But Gary, with what you are saying about Elijah Juve, it's the same thing we can do for Adwabaya than to relegate her to being the equipment officer. And Raymond just alerted me. It's the reason why she also sits back. But if you give her that role that she needs to do this for the girls in talking to them, motivating them, I think she would have a bigger say. If you look at Stephen Appiah and what he does for some of our players, if it's not for Appiah, some of our players will consistently be struggling in the black side, especially in the last number of months which we have struggled and we failed to qualify for the African Nations Cup. But look at the World Cup qualifiers. Look at the synergy in the team. I was at the stadium when the ministry and everyone were coming onto the pitch. He actually told them specifically, this is not what the team needs now. Get off the pitch, let them train, go and have the rest, and play the game. And we played the 2 games, and we were excellent.
Kelvin, I hear what you are saying, and we know that on paper, this is what should happen. I haven't followed this Adwabaya arguments for the last 3 years. I have been a man that has been converted by the fact, and I have been confronted by the fact and not sentiment. That even when I speak to Adwabaya myself, you understand? I don't know why Adwabaya is so shy. You know it, Kelvin. You know. I don't know why Adwabaya, as a footballer, when she stepped on the pitch, she became like somebody who was possessed off the pitch for years and years. I think maybe our senior Adwabaya herself needs some orientation in how to do this. From what I have seen, and I am happy to be corrected, I am happy to be wrong, Adwabaya does not look like somebody who is ready. You see, when I say ready, not that if you give her the road, it can't do it too. But you know that it's 2025. You don't just get up and speak to girls, especially for a team whose girls are now getting more and more exposure out there. If we say in Tree, Kelvin, Sebi, the way Adwabaya will speak to a locally based player, Sebi, it's not the same way that a foreign-based player will take the advice that Adwabaya will give. Please, let's be honest. The way Stephen Appiah will speak to Kudus Mohammed, who has now transferred from West Ham high level to Spurs high level, it's not the same. Why? There's a reason why a Joe Addo, or let me take a player like Charles Taylor, fantastic, or Daniel Nieje. Daniel Nieje has won CAF Champions League twice. He has played at the highest level in African football, but on the local continental scene. Can Daniel Nieje speak to Mohamed Kudus in a certain way and motivate Kudus? On paper, yes. On paper, yes. But in reality, no. Because the message will not resonate to Mohamed Kudus the way Stephen Appiah, who has played in Champions Leagues in Europe, the Black Stars at the World Cup. Kelvin, you understand the way the psychology works. That is why they will listen to Al-Hajj Diouf.
So Gary, yes. at this stage, maybe fine, there are certain players who may not do it, but we've also seen some managers who were never footballers. They were never players who played at the highest level. It's all about your ability to impact and make people respect the rules, which I feel in the GFA. It's all about letting people respect the rules in which people play. And Opoku never rose to the heights that Sami Kofo and the likes were played, but he had command over them. Why?
Okay.
You get it?
But again, remember
you get it. They never played.
I'm saying that the Adwabaya that I've seen, that seems too coiled in her shell for my liking, for a legend like her. And I don't know why. This has been for years. Maybe you can explain why. Because she's too quiet for me.
Yes, so Gary, I think it's either we empower her or put her in a rightful role than to put her as a equipment officer. Because if anyone sits elsewhere and looks at former Black Queens captain Adwabaya with all her prominence, and she's equipment officer for this team, that is where my concern is. I understand you. And there have been times she shied away from interviews and all that. So I think that maybe we must get people who can actually boldly, assert themselves to the girls. Which even Anita, who couldn't play at the highest level, if you look at how she speaks to some of the internationals, I was at part of some of their training sessions and I saw her boldly how she was able to speak to Buedua and the likes. Her command is great. Anita
was in our studios. So Sporty FM listeners would have remembered.
Yes, we spoke to her before the tournament.
In our studios. Please listen to how she speaks, how she carries herself, her education on and off the pitch. And Kelvin, the thing you are saying right now, it will tell you why she's able to come out and speak to the girls like that. I say, when you speak to Adwoa, but look, I said the CAF officer said they saw some of the Gen Z CAF officers, they didn't know anything. So when they asked the seniors, who can we speak from Ghana? And they were told, Adwoa Bayo. They said, what is her profile? They were told, she's done this. They were like, wow, let's speak to her. Then they speak to Adwoa Bayo. Then Adwoa Bayo cannot even, what's the word, Nathan? She can't even express herself at that level. It affects confidence. Yeah. And I think it's a key issue. You see, I don't want to, because she's a legend, we have to be circumspect in the way we speak.
True.
But Adwoa Bayo needs, we need to, as a project, select some of the legends of because if you brought Alberta Saki now, then I would have a problem. Because Alberta Saki can take command of the team right now, and Kim Lash would not have to say a word. Because Alberta Saki is expressive. She speaks. She has a certain confidence and aura about her. Adwoa Bayo, like anytime you see Adwoa Bayo, right, she just wants to be in her corner. Kelvin, So that's what I'm trying to say. That I think that the GFA team have been trying to push her, but Charlie, for the moment, it is not clicking, So maybe in the next few months or something, we have to decide that Adwoa, and then we have to take her through people there are people and professionals who can bring her up to that level, so that before the next major tournament, when Adwoa stands, the confidence in herself to transpose that confidence and to relay whatever message from her decades of experience will be very easy to do. Okay. Yeah. All right. Cheers, boys.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Gary, thank you so much. We should speak again later in the week ahead of the final. It's an immovable object in Nigeria coming up against the host nation with everything behind it, hoping that they get to win their first WAFCON. I'm sure we should speak about that on Friday.
So should we be praying for Nigeria to win, or we should take our banter there and hope they lose? I think Morocco to win.
Anyway, it's a very interesting puzzle. We'll talk about that. But Gary, thank you so much. Take care, and we'll speak again later in the week.
Yes, and cheers to Puma Football for facilitating this for us, our partners.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Gary. Gary Osmi joining us from Rabat on the wings of Puma, our partners. They are partnering Sporty FM to cover the WAFCON. They've sent Gary there, and they've been great sport. They helped us with the interview last week, so good stuff there. Michael Asabredu has been quiet, listening in. Michael, let's hear you. I don't know what your thoughts are, so just go.
Well, I think it's been overstated as regards how impressive our campaign has been. So relatively, it's been successful. I wouldn't want to spend much more time on that, because I think Akomi has spoken about it, Calvin, Raymond, yourself to an extent, and even Gary. My focus will be on what happens from now.
Yeah.
How do we make sure we sustain this level of performance? And even if possible, how do we improve it going into the next WAFCON, which is in March? Gary mentioned rightly the need to get us competitive, friendly encounters that will bring the best out of us. You need to face opponents where you will not just maximize your strengths, but you're also able to expose flaws within the setup that will allow the coaches to work on them, tweak them, improve on them for subsequent competitive fixtures that will be engaging in. So that is crucial. But I also have one thing in mind. If you look through the entire squad represented for the WAFCON, it is mostly dominated by foreign-based players. Now, if you check the time frame from now till the next WAFCON, it is when some of these foreign leagues will also be in session. So it means availability will likely be an issue, especially for qualifiers, friendly encounters. One excuse or one reason that has been justifiably given as to why Kim Lass deserves more chances that he just came on board. Nora Hoplash just left and he had to settle in. So quickly, he needed to assemble a core group of players, use them according to how he wants them to play. I want to believe from now till March, he has ample time to build on from where he is now. And that must be done with a local core of the team. Because yesterday, if you said, permit me to do this, let me just go through the starting 11, and Kelvin can help me with this. Kindly open the squad list and then the clubs that the players play for the WAFCON 2024 page.
Okay.
So if you look through the starting 11, Cynthia Conlan plays in Poland. Kelvin, correct me if I get it wrong.
That's right.
Then there is Susan Dia. She plays in Norway.
Yeah.
There is Portia Boache. Confirm for me where she plays. Bonsu Chrep plays for Carl Zeiss Jena in Germany.
In Germany.
Good. Then there is Comfort Yebua, who plays for Mpem Dakuma here on the local scene.
Yeah.
There is Elizabeth Kujo, plays for DC Power in the USA. Grace Asantua plays for Juarez in Mexico. Then there is Princess Maf, who plays for BFC, also in the US. Stella Nyameche for Gotham FC in the US.
Yeah.
Then there is Doris Boedua. She's transferred from Spartak Subotica to Hapoel Jerusalem, women,
Israel. Yes.
Then there is Boy Holoka, who plays for the London City Lionesses. Good. Those who climbed off the bench, similarly, we did not even have 10 local-based players in our squad for the tournament.
Okay.
So it means we have changed from when we used to rely heavily on the local league to produce the core of the players who select for the Black Queens into us being heavily reliant on foreign-based players. It means limited camping time, limited period for the coach to have his players train with them and play matches with them. So the only time we are guaranteed in terms of having a continuous camping period will be when we are preparing for the tournament, which will not be more than a month. And that is my concern. I think no matter the standard of our local league, there are definitely excellent players here that we can select, group them, and then use them for consistent camping basis. They come, they train just for bonding purposes and also for team chemistry. Then whenever we have games to play, they'll be representing us and play. Out of this, if you run a successful program, after 3 months, we should have like 6 or 7 from this select group who will be good enough to start to beef up our team. Because what I see with the Black Queens now is that we have a good starting 11, but we don't have a deep squad.
Yeah.
So when push gets to shove, and then we need to tweak tactically in terms of structure, strategy, or whatever, we are mostly caught wanting. And that is something that affected us in the game against Morocco. Those who climbed off the bench were not able to impact the game as those who started and had left. Sharifa to Sumaila, she came on and you could not really see what exactly she added to our play. And I can run by you the other players who came on. So I think that is where we have our biggest issue, the continuity. What happens from now? And this should feed into why we need a very good football project.
And it's not like we have time to. I think the next AFCON is enough time. Is it next?
Is in March.
Is in March.
March 2026. So it means everything we do from now, even including the third place playoff, should be geared towards what we do to make sure that by the time we come to the next WAFCON, we will be an improved version of the team that we have presented now. And that involves having a deep squad. So clearly, that is why I want to start the conversation from.
So building a deep squad and looking into the local league. And I agree with you, because I remember before the tournament started and Abigail was raising issues about goalkeepers, for example. Yeah. I asked the question, why is it that the squad didn't have what's the name of Annabelle, Bansa, Faith Ladies.
Yeah.
Why? Why is she not around the team?
Exactly.
Okay, because we need such players around the team. Somebody will argue and say that a lot of the best players in the local league very quickly move out, no problem. But even when they leave, there are standout players in the league that we can look at and, as you say, pick a few from that you can throw into the team.
Them, get them to play matches so that they already develop that kind of they settle in the team atmosphere. So it will not be entirely new for them if they are called up for the first time into the Black Queens. But if they've had consistent camping periods, training sessions, if they have worked with the coach before, it is easy for them to transition in and settle in camp. And I think this must be done. The minister went there, very exciting. He shared some encouraging words with them and all that. But these are not the stuff that we need. What is actually needed is the work on the ground.
Yep.
How much investment, time, attention will go into making sure we assemble a deep squad? How much investment will go into preparing them for the main tournament? We don't need ministers going to tournaments to promise money, whether it is from their own pockets or whether it's from government coffers. If you have any support, now is the time they need it, not when the tournament starts. True. We need to invest more in the development stage, where we are putting the pieces together. That is where we need to divert more attention, more investment, more time. But we don't need to get to the tournament and then, I don't know, I don't want to be harsh and say fanfare, but I think we mostly try to play a part in the success, put our faces in the success picture. You get it?
Meanwhile, we don't do a lot on
the team has qualified. Let me go give speeches, let them welcome me, let them do this for the camera, the optics. Okay, so we post pictures, videos. Oh, the minister is doing well. On the grounds where people won't see you, that is where we need to see your efforts. So I appreciate whatever thing that the minister did, but I think more will need to be done to ensure that this Black Queens team are improved on the pitch so that they will bring more success for us.
8:58. Let's stay with the WAFCON. One team that is, hell bent on succeeding in this competition is the Super Falcons of Nigeria. They beat South Africa 2-1 yesterday to get to a final, their first final in a bit, and they are hoping that over the weekend they can complete the job and complete Mission X. We've been joined by Biola Solis Chukwu. She's a Nigerian sports journalist, and we'll get a Nigerian perspective. Biola, thank you so much for joining us. Good morning. Welcome to the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM. And congrats to the Super Falcons. They are in the finals once again.
Yes, good morning, Sporty FM. Good morning, everyone. Yes, it's good to see the Super Falcons in the final again. And, it was just a very exhilarating feeling yesterday, especially as it was a pretty tight match. South Africa really came to the party, really came all out, especially after that penalty equalizer in the second half. So yeah, the Super Falcons, 9-time champions, back in the final after, finishing fourth last time around. It's just generally good to see, and it's a really feel-good feeling for those of us in Casablanca.
Just give me your thoughts on the encounter. It was billed to be, a clash of two teams that have developed a bit of a story, of a history between them. What did you make of the performance? The Nigerians took the lead through a penalty. South Africa came back. It went back forth, and then later on, you had the Nigerians scoring a winner to send them through. What did you make of the performance of the Super Falcons on the day? Did they satisfy you, or you felt that the result was the most important thing that mattered?
Yes, like you mentioned, there's a lot of history surrounding these two teams. This was basically rivalry with Cambridge, to be honest, and it's always a tight affair, always physical between these two teams. But I think the Super Falcons started really well, but we're wasting chances that couldn't score until, the penalty happened. And even after the penalty, a 2-goal lead up or a 3-goal lead up, especially in the first half. And then after conceding in the second half, it seems like it was almost all South Africa into the game. And, at the end of the day, like you said, it's important to just grind out these results. That dying minutes goal was timely. it was, eventually good to see that the Super Falcons were able to avoid extra time and avoid penalties, because South Africa were clearly ready for that. They had done so in the previous match, and they could go one more as well. They could definitely have outlasted the Super Falcons if they had gone 120 minutes. So I think the result is what mattered, but it was also good to see that the Super Falcons focus, especially after the injury to Gabriela Salgado, which is still unfortunate. I can't get that out of my head. But, they stayed focused after that and, got the dying minutes goal, which was very important.
So they are in the final now. They take on Morocco over the weekend. Before that, though, what's the vibe like in the camp of the Nigerians, the players? What did Justin... the head coach, sorry, his surname has escaped me. What are the general reactions from Madugu? Thank you, Justin Madugu. What are the general thoughts of the coach and the players? They've crossed the South African hurdle. They now have to take on the host nation with the crowd and everything on Saturday. What were the thoughts from the team post game?
Yes, post game, the Morocco-Ghana match actually hadn't started yet. It was, just underway while we were still having the press conference. So the Super Falcons weren't exactly sure of who they would be facing, but the coach and players said that they were ready for whoever it was that they'll be facing. And I think the team understands what it means to be facing the host nation. That's definitely going to be more difficult than facing Ghana. I'm sorry, because this is the host nation. The Rabat Stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Rabat has been packed. We know there might be some hostility as well. So I think the Super Falcons are prepared for that. It is not going to be a walk in the park. And we need to consider that this is a really good team as well. They've come this far, back-to-back finals, and they definitely want to do better than the last time around. So the mood in camp is just, no matter who we are facing, we need to be prepared.
Great. Finally, Saturday will come mission. So is this... Are you confident that the Nigerians can complete the job and wrap up Mission X? So it will be another tough one, because, as I said, it's the host nation and the crowd and everything. Can Nigeria complete the job on Saturday?
I can tell you that the Super Falcons definitely can. It's not been easy coming this far, and here we are again. This is a team that didn't have a lot of great preparation coming into the tournament. A lot of FIFA windows were listed, but here we are, a very experienced team in the WAFCON final. Have never lost a final, by the way. So I think it can happen. It's definitely not going to be a walk in the park. I will not tell you that I am 100% confident, really. I wouldn't tell you that. I am going to be completely honest with you. It's not going to be easy, but I believe the Super Falcons can complete the job.
Okay, we'll see. We'll speak again.
My heart is pounding so far ahead of Saturday.
All right, we'll see how it goes. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. That was a Nigerian sports journalist, Biola Solis Chukwu, speaking to us from Casablanca and keeping an eye out on the Super Falcons. So the Nigerians, they won that game by 2-1. Michael Akumia is still here. The guys are still around. Did you see the game, the Nigeria game?
Okay, I didn't really watch it because I was on my way to.
You were on the move to Accra.
Yes, I was on my way to Accra.
I saw it.
But I think it's a very good result for them. South Africa does not come as an easy opposition, especially at this stage of the competition. They have so much experience and they are defending champions coming into this particular game. But I think Mission X is something that is realistic. I'm being very honest.
Do you think the Nigerians can win?
Mission X is something that is really realistic. I think the hope for Moroccans is actually going to be about being the host nation, number 2. I think this is the year for new winners in other competitions.
If you choose to follow the narrative.
This is the year for new winners. So they have the opportunity to win the WAFCON for the first time. But experience, Assistant Oshola, these girls, solid. Think Morocco will need to play above their levels to get results against South Africa. It will be an interesting game. I'll be ready for it. I'll be really ready for it. I'll be ready for that game at all costs. And I think I'll not even be watching it from here. I'll be watching it from South Africa and Morocco. So we'll enjoy it. It should be good. We'll see what the South Africans will say. And we'll see how the South Africans are also going to behave when they meet Ghana in the third. We'll be there. The second time we'll see how they are going to be in the competition. Calvin, I don't know if you saw the Nigeria game, but quick comments on the Super Falcons and Bayana.
Well, it was great. It was very a very entertaining game, end-to-end action. Both teams were not willing to give up easily, and I think that what we've seen from this tournament clearly gives an indication of how progressive the game is becoming, not just for Nigeria and the other dominant nations, but some others giving in. I think what South Africa lacked was the absence of Catalana. They did not have a player who could just pick up the pieces in the final third and convert the chances that they created. Nigeria, on the other hand, were limited, unlike their previous games where they could actually dismantle teams. South Africa were open. They did not sit back like other teams sit back against Nigeria until they played Zambia, where Nora decided to just be overzealous and open up a team with a 3-back system, and Nigeria thumped by 5-0. South Africa played a very excellent game. I wasn't even expecting that because of their poor performance in the quarterfinal game. The quarterfinal, it was just terrible to see them, how Senegal pushed them to the limit before they managed to get the win via penalty shootout. I think Nigeria deserved it the more. They pushed, especially in the final minutes of the game, and Dile Dlamini would be cursing us that just like our goal. It was a defensive miscommunication and mishap between the defenders and then herself. They didn't know who was going to come for the ball, and the ball just bounced right in front of her. By the time the defender tried to clear it, it was just gone, and then they just had to lose the game. Nigeria, Alozie was just lacking at a foul post, and then just had to just tap in for Nigeria's victory. I'm glad with the resilience of the Super Falcons, going into the final, just like Michael is saying. The last time that they played against Morocco in the semi-finals, remember that 2 red cards, which we all had questions about how Nigeria exited the competition. This time around, it's going to be more like a revenge for them. And for Morocco, they would also be coming into this game that, yes, we lost the previous final, home soil. We lost to South Africa. Now we are playing against Nigeria. They can't lose that one as well. It's going to be an interesting final. But I think that yesterday we really had a very good game to watch between Nigeria and then South Africa. Some of us were thinking, this game is going to travel the distance, but
I didn't think.
The final minute gave it away.
I didn't think so at all. I thought it was going to be settled in 90. What I will say though about the Nigerian team, I'm impressed by their number 6 player. I need to find the name. The player who was jersey number 6 for Nigeria. Okoronkwo. She takes a mean free kick. Really solid from the dead ball situations. Really solid from the dead ball situations. She took one that they converted against Zambia. And I think it was her free kick that must have caused the confusion in towards the second goal.
She plays in China.
Yeah, she plays in China.
Wow. Really solid set piece taker. And she takes all their set pieces. The long range free kicks. She takes some of the corner kicks. Really solid set piece taker. I was very impressed. Very impressed with her. Listen, forgive me, I'm reacting. On our monitors, the penalty shootout from last night is on, so the guys are still reacting.
The movement of
corner and challenge.
You see, Nathan, Okoronkwo, as we speak, she's 28.
Okay.
Lots of experience. Okay. Now she started playing in Nigeria, went to France, played at Saint-Etienne, went to Spain, and now she's in China.
Okay.
Technically speaking, Okoronkwo has reached a point where she's supposed to be considered being at the peak of her career. But Okoronkwo, at this point, we all know, is playing football going into retirement. So she has lots of experience playing for that Nigerian team. Now, if you look at the Nigerian team at this tournament, out of the 24 players they brought to the tournament, only 3 play in Nigeria.
Only 3?
Only 3.
Okay.
Now,
is that a good thing or bad thing?
No, I'm coming.
Okay, you finish.
They have a lot of their players playing outside Nigeria because once they see a player, see her talent, the next move is to make sure she gets into a top team in Europe. So Rasheedat Ajibade started with Robo Queens. Then immediately when she burst onto the scene at the juvenile level, they saw that no, this girl, good talent. She quickly has to move out. Then they took her to Alvadines in Spain. Now she's at Atletico. So the Nigerians, in terms of moving their players to Europe or to America or to Mexico, they are very good at spotting the talent and quickly making sure there's an opportunity for the player to move. You can say same for Oshola. You can say same for Ohale, the defender Ohale, all of these players. I mean, and they play for very good teams. Babajide plays for Tenerife. Ohale plays for Pachuca. Oladipo plays for AS Roma. You see, there are teams in there. Tony Payne plays for Everton.
Yeah.
Obviously, she didn't go through the normal route, but she had a lot more experience out there. But you see, Nathan, the Nigerians have found a way to take advantage of the situation and make sure the talents that they see quickly move to countries where they can develop them quickly and get them to be world beaters. That is what the Nigerians have done well. What have we been able to do same in our case? I heard Hazaka's ladies, SEO, speak about how much they got from, was it Budua?
Is that Doris Budua?
Yes, how much they got from it. It was $10,000 transfer fee. To go out.
$10,000.
Yeah, $10,000.
But in the women,
you see, that's the highest she's seen.
But in the women's game, it's not like that.
No,
it was just 2 weeks or a week ago that we realized that they clocked their first £1 million pound.
You see,
in transfer.
And where do we send these? Where do we send our players? Our players are playing for really coach,
No, someone is playing in China. No, someone is playing in China and giving her best.
No, but you see the one playing in China. I give you the history. She played in France, played in Spain, and she's in China for.
But now,
even the Chinese women's league is considered a top league. Mm-hmm. You understand? She's playing a retirement. She's earning her retirement package in China. But really, when she started, we saw her play in France, moved to Spain. And the progression, and that's why I'm saying that, look, if we want to help our ladies, if we want to help our women, let's get them into proper teams. Because some of these teams, look, the goalkeeper Conrad, she's playing in Malta.
Is it Poland or Malta?
She's playing in Malta.
Malta.
For squeeze.
For what? For which team?
But Raymond, you see, Nathan, in all these, I think it's about the quality. It's about the quality. We sat here and Badad Boneja, who hadn't played, he went to the Gulf and they came to win the AFCON.
He was playing for outside.
Look at who won the Euros for Portugal. Who won the Euros for Portugal?
Eder.
Who was Eder? You see, I think it's all about having a player who is of quality and gives you the balance you need in your team.
Kelvin, the quality or that quality is built on a sound fundamental base.
Yes, one.
So let's talk about the fundamentals.
I think that is what we need to talk about.
Sound fundamental.
Would you tell me that Okoronko has been brilliant than Posha watching this WAF?
Oh, of course.
Raymond Yamando.
Absolutely. Okoronko is very good. No, you see, Nathan, now pay attention to something.
Posha is 36.
The best player in your team.
She's 8 years older than your Okorogo.
The best player in your team. The best player in your team. Yeah. By far. Holoka. Wait. Oh, in terms of creating things, fluidity or no? I'll say Holoka.
No. She doesn't come close to what Bonsu has. No, wait.
No, in terms of offensive ability.
Offensive ability.
There was scary player in the team offensively. So
wait, who? Holoka?
I won't even say.
Which Holoka?
Grace.
Did you see them?
Oh, but come on, Nathan. By far, when Holoka is on the ball, in terms of her football IQ, she's miles ahead of all the players on the pitch. There are times that she picks passes.
All the players on the pitch.
I don't. No.
Nathan.
I don't.
No, Raymond, no.
Oh no, Holoka is good. I think Holoka gives the team a certain dimension. But I think that, for example, if players like Jennifer Kujo and Lisa Santua and Co don't put in the shift they put in and don't do what they do, I don't think Holoka can
technically, I don't think Holoka is above Asantua. No. Technically.
No, not at all.
No,
not at all.
Technically, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's debatable.
We'll give Holoka her flowers because we'll give Holoka her flowers because I think she gives the team as I said a certain dimension.
Yes.
From from her position, attacking, playing vertically towards goal. It's good. I like the presence, the ability, the physical, blah blah blah, all of those things.
And you see, she's like that because of where she started the football. She's got the fundamentals right.
You can add a bit of her genes, physiology.
She's good in this team, but I don't think she's exceptional in this team.
No, fine. But I mean, in terms of
you say
what
that
she brings to the team,
you say that
she brings
what she brings to the team. Yes, it's
in
possible
terms of
because
where she started playing the football, and where she's reached
the basics,
the level she is at now. A lot of our players, the same people she's playing with, they're not with that level.
No, she's not.
They didn't get.
Portia is better. Portia's fundamentals are better. Grace Asantua's fundamentals are better. Jennifer Kujo's fundamentals are better. Stella, if you see Stella touch the ball.
Kelvin, it's not about touching the ball alone. You know, sometimes when you are supposed to pass,
exactly.
When you are supposed to release the ball,
yesterday, and in
there are certain decision makings where
Clocker was
things are basic.
The link up lady to the attack. Where was she?
Certain things are basic.
She was often leaving that space, creating a vacuum.
Nathan.
Where are those fundamentals and technical ability?
You see, it's two things for us now.
Yeah.
It's two things.
Yeah. What is two things? Don't. I won't allow you to. I won't allow you to undermine the capability and the strength of our locals and bring Loka 29 years to come and disturb the peace of.
It's two things.
These two girls.
It's two things for our future.
Yeah.
We either get our girls to play top teams in Europe or wherever, in North America or wherever. We either get our girls to play in top teams there, or we focus on building our local league properly. Because you look at the South African team, there are so many players playing in the South African league. Mamelodi Sundowns, some play in TP Majembe, some play for UWC, some play for JVC, JVW. You understand? They have a lot of players playing in the South African league because obviously they are pampered, they are comfortable there. Some play for University of Johannesburg and things. Right? So, it's two ways. Focus on building a strong league, formidable league here in Ghana. Get your Pimdakwa ladies and your Berry ladies and your whatever too.
And that is my problem. How many ladies from the local game, especially the police ladies winning team, even managed to get into this team? And it's a problem of the technical team. There are some players who were just out of form. You compare them to what we had from the police ladies team this campaign, and you clearly see there's a vast difference when it comes to being on form.
You are bringing this thing back again.
I remember when the police ladies team came for an interview.
Yes.
Immortal asked, he typed the question and said, why is it that a player like Jene Yam, for example, Jene Yam could have been a good option. Option from the bench.
Yes.
Right? You are struggling to get goals. Doris, you could tell Doris was not enjoying it. She didn't have a good competition. So 65 minutes, pull her off. You can throw on Jene Yam. She has the ability. She knows how to score.
Nathan, I'm really interested in this conversation because of one thing. It's the same thing we discuss when it comes to the men's team.
Yes.
Why do we have player A, player B playing so well for club A, club B in the local league, but they have not been called into the main national team? It's the same problem.
Well,
you see, some of these girls, I'm not trying to demean anybody. It's one thing to listen to instructions, and it's one thing to execute these instructions.
And it's another fitting into the coach's plan. I think where we have big problems is some of these are ladies. I'm not trying to say they are not intelligent. I'm not trying to put it in that way at all. They can be intelligent in so many ways, but sometimes what is going to take maybe a foreign player like 5 minutes to adapt, work it out, get you the results. It might even take one of these players maybe like 2 or 3 games for that particular player to adapt. Calvin, if you speak to most of these players who play outside the country, and how most of the players that play in our local league adapt to coaches' instructions and tactics within a short period of time, you are not going to argue along the line with some of these things.
It's the same fundamentals that Evelyn Bedu did at Hazakis. It's the same fundamentals that Evelyn Bedu had. But you grow. Hazakis.
You grow as
and
the
then
game goes.
She's gone to mode. Can anyone tell me when she went to mode? She's been better than when she was at Hazakis.
Kevin, let me use you as an example.
Those things are still there.
Kevin, let me use you as an example. Let me use you as an example.
Michael,
there are certain things you do maybe let's not say, I'm not trying to demean anybody, but permit me, like in a community radio, that where you have actually got into, when you come back to the community radio, you're not going to do it again.
Yes, I won't do it.
So what Evelyn Badu was doing at Hazake's Ladies, now to Morde, back again to the Black Queen, she's not going to do a lot of things. Either she improves on what she knew, or she stops what she was doing at Hazake's Ladies, which was not helping her.
Yes, and learn new things.
These are things that are clear. We just have to improve a lot of things in our league. I'm happy with the improvement when it comes to women's league in this country nowadays.
That is true.
We just need to work more and expose them, because these ladies were even exposed to the CAF Champions League games. Evelyn Badu, Doris Bordua, even looking at P2, Comfort Yeboah. Most of these girls were exposed to that level. So when it comes to the Black Queens and all of this, adaptation doesn't become a problem because they've seen it at that level. We need to have more clubs playing at that stage. Now, please, ladies, will go and taste it. They'll go to the CAF Champions League, they'll go and taste it here, and they'll come back with a lot of experience and add it up to what they have. And I wouldn't be surprised if by 2 or 3 years' time, some of them will be playing for the national team.
You see, and I agree with you on the exposure part. All that we are saying is that whatever it is we are doing here as a country, it has to be equal to what is done.
Yes.
So I have to go with the times. Now it goes back down to coaching education. The talent is not the problem. I think that we have a lot of natural footballers in this country. The issue is, what are we doing so that when they leave Ghana and they go and play elsewhere, even in Ghana, when they meet other countries, the difference is not wide.
Yes.
I think that all what we are saying comes back to that point. We need to ensure that we close the gap. So wherever it is our players are playing, once they meet other teams, the difference is not wide.
But because Kelvin on the potential issue, we have.
Also, the potential is there. We have the potential is there.
Big ones.
All these girls. But then if you take out Loka and Ko, those who didn't grow up here, all of you can tell what they have. The natural ability to play, the talent, whatever. The issue is turning that talent.
The coaching.
That's what I'm saying. So coaching education. What are we doing to take the talent so that we can use that talent, build on that talent, sharpen the intelligence of some of these players so that when they get into a competition setting, when they meet a team like Morocco or Nigeria, they are not worried, because whatever plan you want to execute, they understand and they can execute. Because I feel that sometimes when our players leave across the board, when they leave and go to Europe, we all know the stories. Yes. They go there, and then the Europeans are wait, this guy lacks 1, 2, 3 things.
We need to just.
And now they spend their first year learning things they probably should have known before going. So we need to think long and hard about how we groom players.
The takeoff point was when we played the CAF Champions League for the first time. That was the takeoff point for women's football. And I think from that time, we could have done things better. We only rotated the same.
That's Okoronko on there.
Yes. We rotated.
Super set piece taker.
We rotated the same coaches within the same. I don't know. We rotate coaches someone in this particular country. Today is Basigi with this. Tomorrow is here this.
Musical chairs.
You know, the moment one moves from this club, you know that definitely the person is going to this club. We just rotate the same people within the same terrain without improving a lot of things. We need to make sure, even from the young ages now, from senior high school games, we only concentrate on the men's football at the senior high school level.
We have to think about we need to put women's football,
because girls football. In Kumasi, Milo games are very popular, especially for the men's game. I expect the women's games to be brought to Baba Sports Stadium too, because normally they play at either Amas or they choose one venue like Kumaka, they go and play there. You don't even have the opportunity to even see most of them. By bringing them to Baba Yara, let them have a taste of what the men have. Crowd, exposure, a lot of things. You start grooming them from that particular level. Then to the main Ghana Women's Premier League, they gain that particular experience. Then to Black Princesses, then fast forward to Black Queens. So before they get to the Black Queens, they would have had that particular exposure, all of these things. We only see a lot of crowd when we are watching the Women's FA Cup final, Raymond, or even the league. So the moment they get to these stages, they fumble. We're literally controlling everything about the game until we conceded, and the crowd turned against us, and we started making petty mistakes. We were scared. Exposure is very important. And we need to start from the basics, down from senior high school, push them to that level. Bring them to the top. Because we are going to. If you want to develop women's football, we need to keep pushing.
You see, Nathan, and that's where the FA must come in quickly. Just like for the Ghana Premier League, there's a minimum requirement for coaches. If you don't have a CAF license A,
you can't coach the Ghana Premier League.
Yes. That's the same pertain to the women's league because the women's
they do. I think it's B.
Yes.
For the
women's. So let's find a way of elevating it. Okay, let's get the best of the best.
Yes,
to manage the women.
I agree
because it's clear that
I agree.
We see a lot of Azakes ladies, we see a lot of Ampemdakwa ladies moving out there, being part of our national teams. What fundamentals did they get? They had some of the best coaches at the time. Nana Adakwa was fantastic. Basigi was another very good coach. He helped most of these girls. This is Evelyn Bedu and Co we are talking about. He helped most of them. But can other clubs boast of coaches casting their mood?
Now Oak Ladies have Messi Tego.
Yes, so Messi Tego comes in. But can the previous clubs, all the other clubs who have not gone to Africa and all, can they boast of the same quality of management? You see, so the FA must be particular about who manages.
Joyce, there is under 15 girls coaches also having coach.
So it's not.
So we need to push them in. Someone like
we have, but we just need to train.
But even with the coaching education, it's been 8 years since we had license A. We've been doing DC.
Because our very own coach Ura. Macro.
Yeah, Macro.
In Kumasi. And players like Meleo Topoku, these girls, they come from that place. So you expect such coaches to be given the opportunity.
Exactly.
You help them. License B, license A.
Now it's this year that we've been told that the license A will be held. So we are waiting for it to be held so that at least we can advance and push those with B, to get to A, so we can just move them around. Someone like Sandra Boache, Sandra shouldn't be allowed to just concentrate on under 50. They should push her up because if the way she's able to
open up.
Yes.
Because CAF
but on the flip side too, I agree. But I also think that we also need to ID where people can fit. Not everybody. I don't think we should be in a rush to move coaches. Sometimes some coaches are good at certain levels, and you keep them there to reinforce the fundamentals.
But I mean, the education is what I am talking about.
Yeah.
They need to just feed them with the education and put them. Put them there.
And a lot of the coaches must invest in themselves. You cannot always be waiting for the FA.
How much are you paying? It's a big problem here. Even players themselves, the main architects don't even.
How much are we paying? How much are we paying?
It's not about paying. I want to be a top class coach. I want to be a top notch coach. Or it's just like Nathan wants to be a professor. Nathan knows the path. Nathan cannot tell me that I should come and give him money to pursue that path. Okay. He would have to find his own means.
You have to do your... If other people support,
if people support, fine. But you have to find your own means to chart that course. And that is what a lot of our people are not doing. They are waiting for, GF.
It's a culture thing. It's a culture thing.
If you want to be a top-class coach,
you have to invest.
Educate yourself.
Even transfers to the playing body.
Yeah.
Most of our players are not even eager to even improve themselves. Even they are not ready to invest in themselves.
Listen, it cuts across men and women. Let them invest in themselves and then move up. Because if you become a world-class coach, you will be the one people will be chasing. You will be signing the big contracts. You'll be dictating what you want and all. So, invest in yourself. If you get up there, hooray. If you get to coach, if you get internship with some top clubs, like Desmond Ofe, after his playing career didn't go well, he decided to go into coaching.
But there's a lot of opportunities coming in.
Do you know where Desmond was born, where he was raised, where his father was? His father was Chelsea's one of their kit managers.
But so Desmond play the ball.
Yes, Desmond had the foundation. Here, someone like Sandra Boache with the potential. How much is she given there? She's down to the level of license B. She needs an A. The FA is not even available to do it. When she has the money, do you think she can be able to go to somewhere like Morocco to go and continue? She doesn't have the funds.
But she doesn't. It's personal. You see,
if I ask you to go to
coach,
maybe you.
It's your personal ambition.
Yes, it's your personal ambition. But you can go as far as you can go. Someone like Daniel. So let's talk about coaches. Someone like Daniel Nieje started with the females team, Sea Lions, Elmina Sharks. And then he's moved on. He's still with license B.
Yes.
You know why? Because the license A isn't ready yet.
Yes. Okay.
Someone like Hamza Obeng is still with license B.
Hamza Obeng.
Yes. Hamza Obeng is the reason why Nana Jumai came to handle Vision Football Club.
Yes.
Okay.
After Hamza qualified Vision.
Okay, so
he's still with license B. So you get it.
Someone should educate
people were ready to, actually help him. He was willing to do it. But on the locals, But for him to get money to travel to South Africa, go and stay there 6 months, how much money was he even paid? And has to fucking Vision.
Okay, Calvin,
for him to make that advancement.
So you think that? So the
coaching education here in Ghana must get better so that our coaches can be elevated for 7-8 years. Imagine if these coaches.
You see, again, we are talking about beyond the CAF ABCD. You are not moving to UEFA Pro license and UEFA.
Even CAF Pro is equivalent.
No,
CAF is equivalent. They are doing the equivalence of it. Don't say that as if UEFA Pro is not equivalent to CAF Pro.
You are doing equivalence. But in terms of your internship opportunities, your hours and everything, where you go and study, they are not the same.
Yeah, but
if you go and do a UEFA Pro, UEFA A, you cannot tell me that coach and the one who does the CAF Pro
but
or
that
CAF
is
A.
down to CAF or UEFA.
That's what I'm saying.
It's nobody's fault. What if I don't have UEFA Pro license money?
Is the Mateo better than Piso Mosimane?
When somebody, when
is the
somebody
Mateo better than Piso Mosimane?
You see, all of us go to university. All of us will go to university, of course. Yeah. Okay. But when Michael steps in here with a Harvard degree, and I come with my university
and the job opportunities attached to it.
Very good. That is it. That is the difference.
Okay, so Raymond, so what are you saying?
So I'm saying that.
So it's like going to Ghana chassis.
Yeah. Nah, who joins heavy? I'll not agree. No, but so Nathan, if you are not getting to do the ABCD over here, I'll go to Europe.
And I'm talking about the fans.
Okay. Lion Kingston and go. They went to Europe.
Lion is because he can afford it.
Okay, Kelvin.
Exactly. It's easier for him.
You're making excuses for people not pursuing higher education.
So in this case, my counter argument is that, again, all of this is personal ambition. Right?
Yeah.
So if you really want to coach at the highest level, don't you think it's incumbent on you, the coach, to find your way of getting your credentials?
Yes, getting your way of getting your credentials. But the member association must do well to start at a point.
You don't have money.
Okay, so that is where I also agree with you on that. So at least what the GFA can do is organize the license A.
Thank you.
If after that point people want to advance, that is their
problem. Salasteta didn't have to go to Europe to build a very solid under 20 team and a 17 that was dominant in Africa. Did he have to go there?
No.
Zito didn't have to travel all the way to France to go and do before battling his competitors at the CAF Confederation Cup.
He has his A, right?
Yes.
So if you have your,
did he have to travel there? No. That's what I am talking about. Just get them the best of education for 8 years.
As for that one, that's unfair. 8 years in coaching is a long time. Lots of different things have happened.
All they were able to do was refresher for those who already have the A. With Bernard Lepe and then Professor Minta.
We need to have a long
every season.
I think it coincided with that period of the Anas Expose COVID. It also affected us.
Yes.
Yep. So now
before that, 8 years from
you see,
I think 2017.
In doing more,
my issue actually
in doing more
is not really about the certificates.
Yes.
We can do the CAF license. We actually do need a competent technical school.
Very good.
That teaches and upgrades the skill set and even the capacity of coaches. Okay. That is something that we lack. In the past, the Winneba Sports College was serving that purpose. And if you look through the breed of coaches that we had then, the Ben Kofis, the late Samades, and they all went through such a system. So you could see that they had a certain way of operating. They had how they did their stuff. And it really bought into how you want to play football in Ghana.
Very good.
If you look at Samade's body of work, you will appreciate that it embodies what typical Ghanaian football is like. We had in our minds agro. Then there was a multi-system, but the multi-system fed into the agro philosophy. Yike Afrane, similar. Jones Atukwefio, Ben Kofi. And it upgraded their capacity to the extent that now they became technical directors. I don't think we'll be very confident to say that one local coach now is fit and capable enough as a technical director. Maybe Didi Dramani. But then again, he also comes from the same Winneba Sports College.
So which means that we'll have to do not only should we talk about when we talk about the coaching education,
the license is different.
The license is different.
Yes.
We need to
the education is different.
The education proper.
Yes, exactly.
Like the not only the license, but like
remember what Faisal said when he came here. Education is missing.
Yeah, coaching education.
Where are the educators?
So we can give the license is all we want.
Yeah,
but the educators.
The person will still lack certain things.
And that is what Zito says. You may have the certificate, but when he picks the models from Europe, he compares it to our players and their understanding. And he has to redefine the model to see that it's all because Zito has that education.
Very good.
But
so
these are
exactly.
So let me give you this revelation. Do you know that even at the premier level, most of our coaches don't even use the license A model of training for some of these players because they come to appreciate that the players lack the basics.
They use license D.
So as a last 2 weeks, Zito was using license D models to train Kotoko players.
License D
model.
Yes.
So typically license D is like at the very
Exactly.
Because the basics are
he
not
just
right.
said there were certain things he expected the players to know and do very well, but he found out that a core of them were missing such basics. So he needed to revisit his license D training model and then implement it at the training session.
Premier League
footballers. You get it? So it is not necessarily about the A, the B, the C. Also the capacity of coaches to understand what is at stake at a point in time and what needs to be done.
That also, in what you are saying, also speaks to even player. So which means that there is even a player education problem.
Yes.
So a player comes to the Ghana Premier League at age 23, 24, and he can't do things
basic.
A 24-year-old player.
You and I, we know that now the top European clubs are not buying
coaching education.
25
They are
years
not buying.
Ghana
They are not
Premier
buying.
League
They are buying
players. They are not buying
players. Division 3 players.
So who coached that player when
That's
he was
the question.
16, 17?
That's
because
it was a certain manager who saw him playing without any
community coach.
community coach.
No, but if there is a reputable coaching institution in Ghana, that person with a passion for coaching
Go there.
or player management or whatsoever goes there, gets some basics, and is good enough to coach at that level, developmental stage. So they will be able to equip that player or that young player with the basics.
All of it will sit in the broader context of this DNA business.
Exactly.
So the DNA goes straight down. When you take coaches to this said institution, they are trained in the ways, the broad principle of the DNA. And how he manifests that is his case. It's like it's like Italian coaches when they go to Coverciano.
And I can use one man to represent what I want to say. J.E. Sapon is a famed PE tutor. Now, if you ask most of the PE tutors as to whether when they go for their degrees or whatever, if they are taking true straight coaching, they'll tell you no. They just learn in general,
especially the hyper students.
So they come and they just want to train kids. Oh, it is what I think is right.
Yes.
But not what is actually right. And that is a key thing. And these are the PE tutors who are teaching the kids how to play basketball, volleyball, football, athletics,
everything involved.
Hockey. You get it?
One PE teacher.
But they don't have a specialized training in any of such fields. And that is where we are mostly getting it wrong. So if we want to change how things are being done, if we want to upgrade the technical levels of our players, if we want to upgrade the technical capacities of our coaches, it needs to start at the basics. How we teach some of these people, the PE teachers and the others, how do we teach them? What are we giving them? Then it comes to the players. If the PE teachers are getting the best from this at the JHS level, SHS level, then they are transferring that knowledge to the kids. So they will not need to come to Kotoko to learn how to trap the ball, touch it well, and pass.
So now that is where Michael's quest for the sports college comes in.
Of course.
Those times, the teachers or the students from the sports colleges were spread across the schools.
Simple.
That is where you have Pakwesi has, Pakwesi.
Yes.
Yes. Coach Otia Kenten and the likes. they handle
Bashir Hayford.
Yes, Bashir Hayford or Sam. If you see Bashir Hayford's school from Obuasi Sector, play at the Barbara Sports Stadium. You just see the difference between them and then you see the other teams. If you see Okes with Parko Sifaben and the likes, if you saw someone like Sule Muntari and Coach Afrani at that level, so you could just identify that yes, these coaches have learned and they've had enough practicals at that stage.
So that is
to be able to handle those
student players. Quickly transition from playing for their schools to football clubs and even the national side.
Exactly. And then it is less difficult to making them understand what is there. Because at that time, maybe you move from Parko Sifeben, you are going to Afrani, you move to Osam Dudu or even Ben Kofi, and it's the same. The same broad principles. Adding up becomes less difficult for you, but it's not a case currently.
We do need to really think about this, and the Covergiano example is there. That's where all Italian coaches go and get their education. An institution, right? That's the Italian FA's coaching school. If you go and be the way. Ask Mauricio Sarri. Mauricio Sarri, for many years, he wasn't. They said he's a banker.
Yes.
We don't have time for such people.
Yes.
Somebody had to go and beg for him to go in there and learn from the bottom to the way up. At night, when he goes to do accounting, at night he will coach.
And there's a reason why they have the best of the best.
It's why they have the best coaches.
And I think
education is solid.
Aside the coaching school, what the FA and maybe even the Ministry of Youth and Sports can do to help is to facilitate internships for the best group of local coaches from the women's side and
especially
the men's side. We get them internship at places where they are actually performing best practices.
Why is everyone laughing?
Maybe we
someone that sent him a message.
Maybe we take them to Germany.
The internship.
We take them to Germany for 3 months. You'll be exposed to certain practices which is very new here.
I had a story. I had a story of a certain coach. I'll mention his name.
I had a story.
That when they went on one of those trips and he saw the people using some software, he said, "Hey,
what is this?
Where's my ball?" I don't know about that thing.
You see, that is where the game has reached.
Yeah, used to codes 11.
Ajanatra.
7-11 pole.
Do you know? For those who understand, Ajanatra means Yencheni. So they say a lot of the coaches, I think that's become training. What are we doing?
7-11
poles.
Even managing players level of fatigue. It's in a system.
Yes.
That's what I told you when my good friend Enrique,
when he opens the notes, but the notes will be open.
And he says it's
3 weeks ago.
He knows the ones that are in red, green. Okay, even that one is
because they are training with their gadgets.
So show me which club in Ghana relies on some of this.
Oh, I know for now. Majority 2. Vision FC.
Okay.
Samates.
Okay.
Midiema. Let me add Midiema.
Right.
I know for a fact they do that. Kodoko had Instat. At a point in time, they've dropped it. Yeah. But you see, there's my thinking. The FA should the FA should drive this.
Standardize some of this.
Because if I am Kotoko and I secure the service of Instat, it has not only does the statistics or generate the data for Kotoko.
No,
it does it for the other team. So if the FA secures such a service, it means that it will cover every other game, and even will help the statistics department of the FA. They'll get their data. Then they can track even players that are doing well in the local team to help call up into the local Black Stars, which we know now as the Black Galaxies. But if the clubs also get some of these software companies to run such services for them, it will be helping them to take easy decisions. But again, there are coaches who have fought against such systems.
No, they don't like
because it affects their player selections and everything.
Yeah.
So the club has it. They have a video analyst or a video a coach, and then the coach will not even listen to whatever report the person will submit. He won't read it. He won't take their advice. He will do as he wishes because he needs to select player A or player B. Again, the club chairman has some players in the team which are his boys. So if the data is going to be strictly used, it will affect the choices that
we don't like it.
Exactly. So the FA will need to drive that from the era that we want to enter into, we need to move into a strictly scientific era that is backed by data. So we can track performances, we can track some of these things. It will give us a better appreciation of some of the things that are actually needed to improve or enhance our game. If we don't do that, I'm sorry, then these things will continue to repeat.
Nathan, if you are asked to choose who is the right back in the league, how are you going to do it?
The best right back.
The best right. How do we even judge who the best right back
Appearances.
So we do appearances.
Appearances. Number of man of the match awards.
But meanwhile, I'm sure if you check the numbers,
some boy somewhere.
I remember I was listening to a podcast once, they said they did an alternate Premier League team of the season.
Yeah.
Based on numbers. I was shocked at the 11 I saw. I said, really? Wow. Sometimes in the numbers you find all kinds of things. So yeah. 9:46. Let's take some calls. Today we haven't listened to the callers. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. We'll try and take some calls till 10. So give me a call. What do you make of the Black Queens? We've spoken about the Black Queens. We've ventured into all kinds of other areas. Coaching, player development, coaching, education. What do you make of the Black Queens and their performance? Were you happy with what you saw? What do you think we need to improve the Black Queens so that next year when they play the next WAFCON, they'll be in a position to do well and qualify for the next Women's World Cup? 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. All right. Let me take this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Nathan.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
So I'm Chumesi. I'm calling from a fan call.
Okay, Chumesi, please go ahead.
This is Sporty.
Okay, I like the discussion. I like the discussion about the coaching. When you watch some of the matches, those who were raised outside, they are technically better than some of our local players. Decision making, especially how the midfield transition to the attack. Most of the balls were hit over bar or were missed. So I'm hoping local coaching, especially from the grassroots, need to take critical look because decision making, especially, very poor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast Live on Sporty FM. Give us a call. Hello.
Sporty FM.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
This is Osman.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I think at least the Queens did very well. But I was kind of worried about how we were kicking the ball from long range. I don't know who was telling them that. Long range, then they want to take shots. And it was going nowhere. The time we took our time to string the passes together, we were playing. But small time now, everybody wants to play long shots. I don't know. But I know Kim, if he should stay, will work on this team. They've now gotten experience. Next year, they might build upon it.
Okay.
Some of them are aging. We need to bring up the under 20s and then other players from the local league and then join together. And I know next year, if we don't make it to the final, maybe the semi-final again, and then hopefully qualify for the World Cup in Brazil. Have a good morning.
All right. Thank you so much for your call. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Give me a call. I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts on the Black Queens and their performance. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
John Kaswa.
All right. Please go ahead.
I love the analysis you people are making this morning. From all of you, you people are giving out very beautiful analysis. But I tell you, we will go to tournaments and come, you will be giving the same analysis. This is what has been happening to this country. Every tournament, when we come back from every tournament, this is what goes on. Oh, they should have done this. They should have the end of the day. Well, they did well. This is what is going to happen. The next tournament they go, we will still come back and analyze, and there will be no trophy for us.
But should that be the case?
That is what it's going to be, because that's how the country is. That is how many times are we going to go for a tournament and come back and be doing have this same analysis? The black stars go, they come, they please. I mean, they get to the quarterfinal, they are kicked out. They come, oh, they did well. This and this, they should have done this and this. This is what happens all the time. It's a broken record. So for me, I know this is what is going to happen. Analysis of an analysis, and will always remain at the same point because our leaders are never ready to place it on the highest pedestal. Where we go to?
That's the thing. You've cracked the riddle.
Yes, they are not ready. They are not ready to do the kind of things you people are saying there. They are not ready. So this is what will come. We'll go to tournaments, come back, and these are the kind of things we'll be saying all the time. They won't do anything. They go out. If they know they won't win us trophies, we should stop going for tournaments and we stop wasting the taxpayers' money. Because we always go, we come back, third, fourth, quarterfinals, semifinals. Oh, they did well. Oh, next time, this is what we do all the time, and the taxpayers' money is going waste. We never leave our hands on the trophy. Why? This is too much. You people are not at fault. I'm not blaming you people for analyzing the game. But our leaders are never ready to listen to you.
I get you. I get you.
Yesterday, I was listening to Kelvin. Kelvin said emotional commentator. I don't know what to say. He's tired. Oh, Ghana. I don't blame you guys. What you people are supposed to do is what you people are doing. You are doing your best. But those are the help of affairs are never ready to turn this around. So all the time we will go for tournament, we will come back, and all we can say is, oh, they did well. Some went some time ago, placed second, they came, they were giving Cherokee. These people, maybe when they come, they will give them a Boboya. And then I don't know what we'll be giving next.
All right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let's take a few more calls and then we call it a morning. Hello. All right, 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. Let me take this call. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes.
Good morning, Sporty FM.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Josh. I'm from Kaneshi.
All right, please go ahead.
Please, yesterday the Black Queens did very well. For me, they did very well. But as you said, because of their own experience, some of the local players have, so they were not able to perform. But even with Evelyn Bedu, I have a problem with her. After she left Azakis Ladies and went outside, her performance has declined a lot. So please, you the media, you should find a way to speak to her, because I'm seeing that maybe she's going through something. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. It's 9:54. We'll take a few calls and then we wrap it up at 10. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from, please? Good morning.
Yeah, Nathan, good morning. This is Otunfo.
All right, Otunfo, please go ahead.
Calling from Adenta.
All right.
Yeah, at a point in time, I think yesterday game, before the equalizer, yeah, I think the girls were they were overcommitting themselves. I thought at that time we were just supposed to keep the ball and not rushing into situations whereby we were in a rush for a goal or something. Because I realized that the girls were very, very tired. And sincerely, from my point of view, I was blaming the coach. But my guys that I was watching the game with, they were like, yo, come down with the coach. I'm like, come on, this is what coaches does. So what do you mean by I should come down with the coach? And I think You know, that was our downfall yesterday. But you know, it is what it is. You know, the girls have been so good, and then I think we have to congratulate them for what they've done in the competition so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your call. 9:56. Time check. This is the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM 106.1. Let's take 2 more calls and then we'll call it a morning. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Star. I'm calling from East Lagos.
Sorry?
Star from East Lagos.
Okay, please go ahead.
I think the ladies did well yesterday. They did their best. They went all out, and then it is what it is. At the end of the day, that was what came around. But the last time I want to deviate a bit from today's topic. The last time we were having some conversation on player contract. I wanted to come in during that moment, but I didn't have it.
Sorry, the last time I was doing what?
We were having discussion about standard contracts that the GFA was proposing for clubs.
Yes.
I've been footballer myself, and then footballers in these countries are really going through a lot. They are really going through a lot, especially our first divisions and our second division.
Mm-hmm.
And then most of them, those around the northern part of Ghana, they are really going through a lot because club owners and then administrators over there think that like players don't know what they are about. Because, like they think they can decide for every player, they can decide players' fate in the way they want. Can you imagine a team can tell you a player, we don't want you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. The player agrees. Okay, fine. I'll go my way. Then you ask for your release or your card, and they will be like, go and get a club, and the club will come and they will negotiate for your card. How can this be? If you don't want the player, give the player release letter or the card, then the player go and find their own way. But they will still hold up on the player without letting the player go, and then the player becomes frustrated. This is more reasons why more of our footballers don't come out to the limelight, because you'll be frustrated at the end of the day, and then you feel like, no, let me just give up. Because if you are to follow up, you have to come to Accra, where GFA headquarters is, and then you have to, like, there will be a whole lot of go and come, back and forth. So they always feel they are big, like they can decide on players. I think the standard contract which is coming is a very good initiative, but at least if there could be some satellite offices of GFA around the country where players can feel more safe to contact, and then the appropriate offices for them to channel on their grievances, I think it will help our football, and then our players will be more willing to also go into the football. I think you guys are doing a very good job over there, and then we applaud you guys for everything you are doing.
All right, thank you so much. I don't know if I have some WhatsApp messages also on 054-257-1061. Okay, in the absence of WhatsApp messages, I think we'll call it a show. We'll wrap it up for this morning. Okay, I don't know if you have. Okay, let me take this final caller and then we'll go home. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, I'm Abubakar calling from Latakia.
All right, please go ahead.
Okay. Ghana is like I can easily blame our leaders, straight to the leaders, because always we have this kind of problems. Even last time I heard that they take some guys to the airport and then they even ask them to go back home. I learned that because every year or any time that Ghana has a tournament, we'll go maybe getting to the finals or get to the finals, and everything will just break up there. And when they come back, they have done well. How long or when did you remember that we picked the African Cup of Nations? No way. You can't even talk about it. And then just recently, I learned that the Ghana women, like Black Queens, since they haven't paid up to now. Whether they have paid them or not, I don't know.
Oh yeah, they are per diems and bonuses up until like just before this or after they play their first game has been paid. Yes.
Okay, they need to make them happy. If you have money, like you, the workers of Sporty FM, if they don't pay you, like how you are doing business with them, no, you guys, you won't get the energy to be doing that kind of things. Mm-hmm. So they need to make you guys happy for you to continue to work. Every work, if you don't get something from it, like your energy, you will not even get much energy on it. Mm-hmm. But it's a good work. Yeah. So our leaders, no, the blame is going to our leaders. They need to stand. They need to make the citizens of Ghana, like we the football lovers, they need to make us happy. Mm-hmm. They know how they can use to make us happy, but they will not do. Okay. But if only they wanted to steal, they have the mind, they have the knowledge to steal. They can do everything to steal, but to make citizens of Ghana, to make football lovers, to feel good, to feel happy, they will not do it. Why? And the most painful thing too is that the future coaches and the future presidents of Ghana Football Association, they are watching the future people, those coming to represent these guys. Excuse me to say these stupid leaders, no.
Oh no,
they
no,
are
you can't.
Future I said excuse me to say. I said okay, I've removed it. I'm sorry for that. I've removed it. Uh-huh. The future presidents coming to represent these leaders, they are watching them. So they are also going to copy the same stuff. So whether we like it or not, before we progress to the next level, unless they learn more, because Kotokweko is like this, another one is like this. Last time they were talking about Tiger come and expose some. Now this one, which one is next? So unless our leaders stand well and make the football lovers happy, because if not this case, master, we will be suffering unless everybody should remove their mind on the football side. If not, and go for what is the name? Sporty FM. They should all the football lovers, they should continue coming to be taking our and calling the guys to be giving us the better side, so that we'll leave Ghana for the leaders. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Anyway, that's how we wrap it up this morning. My name is Nathan. I did this with Raymond Yamado, Kelvin Owusu-Ansah, Michael Akumia, and Michael Asari-Boedu. Shout out to my production team, Immortal, Naneke, and Angela. Shout out to Fly and Emmanuel Ayamga on social. Shout out to my DJ, Fidelis. Shout out to the entire technical team. Shout out to you, our listeners. It's always a pleasure bringing you the show. And we are always happy that you tune in. Keep your dials locked on Sporty 106.1. We are the voice of sport. There's the news at midday, Sporty Plug 12:30, Sporty Drive at 4. European nights later. Remember, we are Ghana's premier 24/7 all-sport radio station. We are the voice of sport. We are Sporty FM. Enjoy your day. Keep your dials locked here.
He has given me victory.